Okay, so first we're going to do the questions. Couple questions for Michael since you missed the last week's. The last week's question was, during your about a week you've had here in Sandpoint, one of the nights you all spent a night with rounds of drinks, and in your inebriated state, you shared a secret about yourself with the others. And what was it? It doesn't have to be anything serious. Like for instance, Ris'sh. Theirs was they were arachnophobic. Lucilla never went to a university. They just snuck into the classes. Emanuele is a virgin and is nervous around women. From what I remember him correcting.
Yes.
Ephixa hates being the lucky charm for the town.
I've been thinking about it, and I think it's at this point Haldor would tell the party that what brings him out here so far is that his sister was assassinated by a magic user, and that's why he shuns forms of magic.
I just imagine that one being told last, and all of a sudden's like, "Well, that
Yes,
put
it
a
goes
bumper in
silent.
Every
Everybody
party
stares at
needs a
Ris'sh.
pooper, and that's why we invited you.
The way I imagine it happen is him like sort of like a backhanded compliment to Ris'sh, right? It'd be like, "Oh, you're the bravest magic user I've ever seen," whatever, you know.
I mean, I do think it's funny to point out, because I realized, especially when we level up, because Emanuele got spells, everyone is a spellcaster except for Haldor.
Yeah, but there's divine magic and there's arcane.
Yeah, I know. I
magic.
just think that's kind of funny.
I know.
Particularly, it would be arcane magic. Because I even wrote in his backstory that his sister was a cleric, anyways.
It was a cleric of who again? It was.
I
I don't remember the name of them.
can find it was either Gorham
Gorham, I think you put down.
or
maybe
the
not.
other one.
I don't know. It's not too important right now, but
Gorham's the most heavy metal of all the Pathfinder companies, in my opinion.
yeah.
He's chaotic neutral, but his domain is on I think it was Elysium, the chaotic good plane, and it's literally
But
just a valley where people fight endlessly.
She was a priestess of Toreg.
Oh, Torag, yeah. Okay, that makes a lot more sense then. I'm pretty sure Torag, other than dwarves, is like Little King's land, just number one.
Yeah, she was a priestess of Torag, but his deity is Gorham.
Gotcha. Well, that leads me up to my next question. What deity, if any, does your character worship, and what is your opinion on other people's worship?
Well, Gorham.
Oh, I actually did write this down. Though she's nowhere close, obviously, like a cleric faithful. Lucilla worships Desne, because she's
Desna?
the Desna, however you pronounce that, Desna, because she is the goddess of dreams and travelers. So.
And I will say, like, your character doesn't have to be like religious to one specific god, because if you kind of read anything about any kind of like fantasy trope stuff, they might say a prayer to Desna on their travels, but they might say a prayer to Abadar when they're going into town to trade.
Oh yeah, very.
Yeah,
reasonable.
it doesn't have to be like your character is exclusive to one god or anything.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I incorporated in the fact that, you know, his sister was a priestess of Torag, but his patron deity is Gorham. Like, it's not, you know, these deities aren't very strict until you get to, like, you know, opposite sides of the alignment chart.
Yeah.
But definitely, I remember reading and picking Desna because it was very close to Lucilla's demeanor and outlook on the word, very much lined up.
And you're like in Desna, capital of the world right now.
Yeah, so I'm not uncomfortable at all, actually. I mean, if I was to have to pick a number 2, I would probably say Iamade, the lawful good law one.
But yeah, obviously Haldor, his patron god is Gorham. He has an affinity for the sort of, I guess, warrior or dwarven gods, like people who worship those gods in particular. He'd probably be good friends with, but he has a particular aversion probably to Asmodeus, who is one of his domains is magic.
Mhm.
And he's evil. And Haldor is chaotic good, and Asmodeus is lawful evil.
Fix is unaffiliated with deities.
I'm sure.
No, Saren Ray, and she's
So how does it feel to lose your paladin powers?
right. Especially out of characterly done and so, but yeah, obviously Saren Ray, and she is perfectly comfortable with the worship of a non-evil deity. She is, at the very least, uncomfortable with the worship of evil, if not outright, doing what she can to try to rehabilitate them to see the light, as it were.
Gotcha. So I just need Ris'sh and Emanuele.
Emanuele has always been partial to Erastil. Is that how you say it?
At least that's how I've always heard it. So.
Okay.
What's that one again? I don't remember.
Harvest god, as well as like archery god, hunting god.
Kind of a more druidy.
Mhm.
It's like them and like Gozray that are like the number 2 and 1 of the druid gods. If I remember correctly, it gets confusing because there's a lot of them.
Mhm.
And don't even get me started once you start getting to the eastern countries and then like the Egyptian like country.
Mm-hmm.
The Tianzan, or however you pronounce it, some of their gods are actually the same ones as other parts of Galorian, just different names.
Yep. So I guess that leaves me. Really weren't any Lizardfolk gods in the pantheons. Most of the smaller races get neglected in that way, so I kind of made one up, Tensha Reicho, which kind of combines.
You need to give me the writing spelling for that.
Yeah.
You mean you're not worshiping?
It's on my character sheet, actually. Yeah,
I'll check it.
Worshipping that primordial monster that wants to eat the world?
No, there's kind of combined sky and ancestor worship. The sun is supposed to be their god's eye that exposes their foes and warms their blood, because lizard folk don't have dark vision. So they're actually probably, I think it's diurnals.
Dark vision.
Yeah, no. As for her opinion on other gods, well, everyone's got their own. The goblins, the orcs, the smooth skins.
Gotcha.
Yes.
What is Emanuele's and Lucilla's opinions on other people's worship?
Emanuele's fine.
EMIB?
Emanuele's fine with everything from being raised in Muldoon. They're pretty open and accepting of different races and cultures and religions.
Gotcha.
Similar, given Lucilla's national background. Basically, she's fine with any religion so long as it's not harming other people, with the exception of Asmodeus worship, but that has less to do with Asmodeus himself, though objectively you can say it's bad, is that there's a cultural association with Chiliacs. This is what sours that.
Yeah.
How
I
does
imagine a lot of people don't like Asmodeus specifically because of Chiliacs.
Yeah.
Can't wait till
exactly
can't wait till someone plays a character from Talengard who, when we ask this question, goes, "Oh, I worship Asmodeus, and I'm fine with anyone who worships any god as long as they bow under the boot heel of the one true lawmaker, Prince of Evil."
Oh Lord. Okay. So that's it for the questions. Anyone would like to do the recap? Don't everyone jump out at once.
We got up. Tavern keeper was missing. We tracked her to her father's glass making place. It was overrun by goblins, so we beat the shit out of them. Found half-brother who was working with goblins, beat the
Wait,
shit out
dude.
of him.
Through the power of teamwork and this gun we found.
Yeah. Discovered he's in love with some kind of, I believe it was an Aasimar that's slowly being turned into a demon, and that there is an imp living below Sandpoint.
So pretty much, yeah, you were awoken by Bethana Corwin, who runs the tavern in Sandpoint, who told you that Amico hadn't come home the previous night and gave you the letter to from the brother that was translated from Mankayan to Common. When you found out the information, he was trying to say that his father was responsible for the goblin attack. You made your way to the glassworks, quickly defeated quite a bit of goblins, then swiftly put, when you say found gun, you probably meant Haldor's guns, as he just practically smacked him into the next week.
I mean, I tripped him, someone else held him down, and Haldor just beat him up.
Pretty much.
Also pocket sand.
I think in the get behind him and push type thing, I believe I was the person that got down on the hands and knees from the fall over.
Mhm.
Just wrap your arms around his knees and suplex him.
Give me 1 second. Sorry, I was just making sure the call wasn't for me or something. But you got his journal after you defeated him. It summarized that he is in love and working for a woman who named Nualia, that Ephixa would know from her years of being here, that was another one that was adopted around the same time as her, that was another Aasimar that was said to have burnt up in the fire that destroyed the last cathedral, which is why they made the new one out of stone, to kind of prevent the chance of it being burnt down again. And from what you gathered with a charm person and another one of my poor rolls, she is in Thistletop, but she's planning on, when she awakens something that's there, to attack from the walls, as well as have something known as a quasit come up from below here, but below the town, to attack with some force that you don't know of. And then the mayor wished you to investigate the caves below the town first, as it seems to be the closest and more risky to leave alone than anything, at least in their opinion. And you went to, I think, go rest when we ended.
Yeah, rest. I believe so.
So yeah, resting doesn't get interrupted. You're able to recover. I think the other one that's hurt is Ris'sh, that you would get your level plus con back. And then it's up to you guys to do what you would like to do.
Oh, I would like to buy a couple small items before we go down there.
Depending on what it is, I can say yes or no.
Let's see. I think only one of them will be difficult to find. Let me scroll up to where I wrote it down. Yeah, I am looking for some holy water, a bag of color-dyed sand, a hand mirror, and maybe a small ball of yarn.
So you can find most of that stuff right in the Sandpoint General Store.
I imagine the holy water is the only thing that's difficult to find.
Ironically, the dyed sand you can't find in the store, but you know that you saw some in the glassworks, so you could probably just borrow some on your way.
I'm chaotic good. I'll just nick it.
Yeah. Currently, you know the owner. You could probably just ask, and she'd give you permission anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I could hook you up. I know a few people.
And then holy water you'll have to go to the church for. But the rest of the stuff, yeah, the general store, run by Van Vinder and his daughter, seem to be policed behind the counter. That you don't know the reason, but Haldor does. It's just kind of bored and sells you the stuff, and you're able to head to the cathedral. And I believe they have plenty of holy water.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the price for it.
Yeah, they don't have any on list, but it doesn't take them much to make holy water.
Yeah, it's a level 1 spell. 25 gold pieces. And I have how much? Oh, I have 20.
Is Fix able to pull a few strings and get some favor in?
Go ahead
terms
and
of
give
price
me a
floor?
diplomacy.
I could do that.
See if you can get some.
It's for a good cause.
Yeah, they know you well enough, and they don't know exactly what everything is going on, but they do know that you're helping the town, so they make you, let's see, 3 holy water vials for no charge.
They are saints and scholars.
We hope to be.
Let's see. And then your hand mirror is 10 gold. How much would you say a small ball of yarn is? Like a couple silver, maybe?
I would say
Probably
maybe a
copper.
silver top, but I'll say 5 copper, because that's like being extra about
Yeah.
it.
And I always forget this. It's 10 It's 10 copper pieces for 1 silver, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
How long do we plan on being down there? Should I get an adventurer's pack? Should I get one of those backpacks and book bags and stuff? Because I've never done this before. And a little nervous, a little excited, very excited, but
I would this is in character. I would recommend it. I always come prepared. And,
Okay.
you see Lucilla, she doesn't always carry around with her, but she's prepping for this. She's got like a big backpack just filled with stuff. She's got a torch, sun rods, rations, travel journal, writing supplies, a line and hook for fishing, and all the stuff that she's getting now.
is that heavy? That looks heavy.
It's good for the legs. It builds up back muscles. It's actually not very heavy, but I'm just that flimsy halfling.
I also picture a lot of like the bags you guys carry and stuff.
Mhm.
It's one of those things that when you start fighting, you kind of drop them by the wayside until the fight's over.
Mhm.
At least the squishier people that don't have a lot of strength.
Holding up the coin purse we took off the half elf, and pulling out one of the platinum. 10 of these moonshine equal 100 of sunshine, yes? Gold, I think, term, yes?
That's my understanding, yeah.
I need to go find that man we talked to. See if I can talk to hatchlings later. But spellbook could have something useful.
By the way, before we get into that part real quick, did you guys ever record the stuff that you got off of
Yeah.
Pseudo?
Yeah, I copied it over onto the loot.
Yeah. I wasn't sure who took, I think someone took the ring of protection.
Yeah,
I
Fix
think-
got that because she constantly gets hit in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I marked down who took what out of. Now it's just the tools. He voted to give me the potion and fix the ring.
I'll take those 20 arrows.
Mhm.
If
My-
nobody wants them, Fix will take the silver earrings. She thinks it'll look nice with their amulet. Or her holy symbol.
It just gives
So-
people something to grab in a scrap.
Yeah. You head towards the God, what's it called? The Torondarok Academy. To talk to Osori, and he greets you, and so do you come to honor our deal and pay and speak with the children for a trade of my old spellbook?
Yes. I could speak to hatchlings, though we are preparing expedition.
Well, I've heard good things around the town. As long as you do it before you leave Sandpoint for good, I can imagine I can hold your word for it.
Yes, word. Very good. Strong. Honor. Yes.
Okay, so with exchange of the 100 gold, so these will be just added to your spell book. You don't have to like transcribe them like you would scrolls because it's literally just already a prepared spell book and everything. So he has second level spells of Cat's Grace. Here, I'll just type this out.
Fix will stop by the trader and, after some discussion, just ultimately get a Paladin's kit, excluding the iron pot. That seemed unnecessarily heavy.
Yeah, no worries there.
You don't want the whole camping supply? For our journey underneath the town?
Rely on the trial rations rather than the having to cook anything on hand, if it means I could not have to carry around that big old hunk of iron.
So those are the spells that he had in the spell book. I think you might already have floating disc and
Yeah, I got a few of the first levels, but once I can cast them, the second levels. Yay.
yeah, those are a pretty good deal for the second levels, I assume.
Yeah.
And I think they're normally like just to transcribe them if you find a scroll is pretty expensive.
Yep. Don't know if there's rules in it in Pathfinder or not, but I recall, I think it was in AD&D second, that you could use the copy in the spell book as a scroll as an emergency, because
You can.
if you use it that way, you lose it.
Yeah.
That's a fun idea, though.
But it's good if you think you're literally gonna die and you have no other choice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what? I really like this spell, but I like living more.
Not a lich yet.
So yeah. Any other shopping you all wish to do?
Nope, I should be good. I am not buying the joked about 10-foot pole, because that would be ridiculous.
And then a question for Emanuele: are you bringing Juan or not?
Ephixa, have you been to this underground area?
I cannot say that I have. I wasn't even really aware that there was an underground area to be.
Out of character, was it supposed to be like a temple or something underground?
That's what you heard in some of the things that he had said and some of the things you had read. It looks like a smuggler's tunnel or some kind of secret getaway tunnel. It looks like, since your snake is more long than it is wide, it could go through it, but it would be squeezing the entire way, at least of what you saw.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take her. I may send her home. If we get in there and it's all cramped, but I have a feeling we're going to go through a tunnel and it's going to open into like a temple.
Fix will also grab a whetstone while she's
It's
out.
like where the old city was built or something.
No, just random tunnels underneath the town, as far as we know. There's a smuggler's tunnel originally back in the day, but I don't believe Sandpoint's old enough to have a secret undercity.
Gotcha.
Okay, so if there's no more buying to be done, you make your way back to the glassworks. There are still some people like guarding outside. They're trying to make it look like they're not actually guarding to not attract attention, but it's a small town, so there's still people asking questions and everything.
All right, guys, guard casually.
But they know to let you in. Lucilla, as you go in, you're able to pick out whatever color glass or sand you might want. They have multicolored ones, so
I guess just purple, because that tends to show up more.
no worries.
Especially in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as you make your way back to what you found was this the basement of the glassworks. You make your way to the room that had the tunnel, and as you head in, It kind of winds lazily towards the northeast, at least as best you can kind of predict from the angle you're looking in and like what was outside. It's not too hard to figure out direction when you first go in, but it does start to head in some like a bend, so you're not quite sure the exact direction. But it goes down quite a while.
It's all
100.
dark, I assume.
Yeah, it's completely dark. So if anyone who doesn't have dark vision, you will need light to see.
Yeah, before anyone lights a torch or anything, because remember we ran into this before, I reach into my backpack and I pull out, like, it looks like a 1 foot long, looks like an iron rod with a gold tip, and I just take it and I bang the gold tip on the wall, and it begins shining bright light within 30-foot radius and dim light beyond that. It's a sun rod, and it lasts for 6 hours. And unlike a torch, I can toss this thing around, it won't go out, and it doesn't burn me.
Meanwhile, Ris'sh has borrowed ever-burning torch from the glassworks.
It was like a 40 radius of light for a torch, but it like dims after 20, right?
Yeah, 2020.
I'm just setting up your guys' tokens for lights.
Listen,
But as you go down,
It doesn't kill us to have more than one.
Nope.
yeah, as you go down, it goes down 100, 200, soon 500, 1,000, 1,500. And then you start losing track of how many feet it goes down before you reach what looks to be a dead end. If you would like to roll me some perceptions.
Yeah,
All that walking for nothing.
I believe this like I believe the sky is green.
Shine Tooth give up too fast.
Okay, so Ris'sh, you're the only one to notice.
Even with a 19? Damn.
Yeah, it is a hard DC. It's one of those things that normally you would have to take a 20 to find, at least at this level. But as you're like looking around, there is a small opening to the side of the dead end, and Ris'sh, you kind of reach in and like pull on something, and it kind of gives a click as the entire wall shifts slightly and reveals to a pathway beyond that goes from a straightaway as well as 2 side branching tunnels.
See, Ris'sh make path only take 5 seconds.
The path straightaway you can already see leads out to the ocean. And there's a path on the left and right. So which one would you like to take?
I sweep my light around. Are we still on natural stone?
You are.
Okay.
It's natural stone, but it has been worked in certain points. Like when you were going down, most of the path was like it was made to go down, but it's like it's about 3/4 of the way down, but it becomes actually like a naturally formed cave.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, if we're looking for a secret demon temple under the town, I'd imagine we want to find an area that goes deeper underground. So which one of these 2 tunnels do you think?
It said we could see the ocean from the one, right?
Yeah, and then there's 2 others that branch off to the left and right of that tunnel. It's like a 3-pronged fork. One goes straight, 2 others go left and right.
I got a coin, we could flip it.
And so the coin tossing begins.
Well, if that's what's going to be, then I just go to the left.
Easy enough.
Yes, I've heard left-hand path evil.
Guess that's what we're looking for, so it makes sense.
So you head down the left tunnel, and you go about like 400 more feet before it ends in a collapse. Like it doesn't look like it's a new collapse. It looks like it's a long since buried hole in the wall.
Fix is going to try her hand at survival, see if she could find any footprints in the dust or anything like that that gives the impression that there might be other means of travel in this immediate area.
Yeah, go ahead. Not in this particular tunnel, no. Doesn't look like there's been anyone down here in a while.
Well, before try burrow, maybe check other path.
Emanuele, that snake of yours can slide backwards, right?
I've never tried. You turn to it. Go back.
There is just enough room for the snake to be able to kind of turn its head and slither backwards and readjust itself. It is a very tight squeeze for it, but it is able to do it. The armor that's on it kind of like skids across some of the cave walls, and you see some stuff kind of fall from the ceiling for a moment, but not anything to really too worry about. It just kind of gives a couple of you, I'm sure, a start.
Go back faster.
I love the idea of all this armor scraping, and Lucilla just says to whoever's close, well, at least they won't hear us coming over the noise.
But you make your way back, and as you go to the intersection again, Ephixa, with that survival, you do notice as you're heading down the other path, maybe about 20 feet past the intersection, it looks like this passageway was bricked up at one point. But it looks like a lot of the brick has been dashed across and returned to rubble. This one, it winds for about 50 feet before turning north for about another 100 feet. And then I will bring you to a map.
Huzzah. No, it's definitely a carved tunnel.
Yep. And we came from this direction, right?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Be safe to assume. Now we're starting at the exit.
You've won the maze.
Huzzah. So it looks like we've got 3 tunnels directly ahead of us.
Yep.
Looks like it.
I say we go straight. And keep your eye out for any booby traps.
Should see if we can find any footprints, actually. Might be better than just picking at random.
You can make another survival if you wish. Haldor, I believe you can still see because of, or can you only see your little bit? Oh, here, I figured out what I did wrong. Okay.
Yes.
I'm holding a light source.
It's got
Yeah,
a
I forgot
21.
to reveal the light source from Lucilla and Ris'sh since they actually produce the light. So that should be a little bit better for Haldor now.
All right. So we said we wanted to go straight ahead.
That's what I'm saying we do.
Fix 21 on her survival check to see if there's any footprints or anything like that.
So you do see some footprints. They look a little odd, though. They kind of intermix between this intersection, but there does seem to be some more fresh ones heading this direction.
Fix would point that out and say these look fresher than usual, pointing down that tunnel.
Worth checking.
Well, if you say so.
Down which tunnel?
The one
the
to
one
the immediate right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Lucilla, as you begin to turn the corner, Haldor, as the light begins to open up, you see this just this open cave area, and there is this what looks like at first it looks like a gaunt, like veiny, pale man just kind of sitting on the ground, huddled. But as the light comes into view, it begins to turn, and you begin to see these. Can best be described as this like irregular mouth open up into what looks like 2 mandibles, as a long tongue lolls out. I'll go ahead and post what it looks like in the chat thing. As it sees you all and begins to rush you.
Ew.
What is that?
I'll let you know on my turn. That's what I do. Initiative. Hey, actually decent for once.
I need to add another one.
Yeah. Thought I had my Token selected.
And I will bring Juan is here. He's just not on the map until we make room where y'all are, but I will put him.
That's fine. I'm not gonna command him to try and rush by everybody. That'd just
Yeah,
be...
he will not be able to squeeze by you all right now. It's basically difficult terrain for him to move at all right now.
Really, I just wanted him behind me in case someone came up behind us, and that way he
We
would
could
die.
just tear him apart. before
Yeah.
we get to
We
him.
just hear
And
the
I could move
sound
my
of
way
a
to the front.
thrashing, dying snake, and we're like, think someone's behind us.
Okay, first up on the order
That's
is
okay.
Ephixa.
That's okay. You still got 15 feet of snake to chew through to get us.
Exactly.
All right, Fix is going to move up. 1, 2, 3, 15.
Yeah, after you get to there, you clearly see this creature just as it begins to like shift its feet towards you all. It has this what looks like this weird rusted spear-like implement in its hands.
Right, then she'll move there as her move action, then go. What was it? Full defense as a standard action.
I believe so. So it'd be a +4 to your AC.
Yeah, so I'll go full defensive since I can't reach otherwise.
Okay. On its turn, it's going to 5 foot over here.
Looks like there's another one in here.
Yeah, you do see another one kind of like its arms are kind of going around the corner of the brick. Or not the brick, but the stone.
Yeah.
This one's going to make a full attack on you, a swing with its Ranzor, and then it's going to try to bite you. The bite will be -6 to the attack because it's... So 19 will miss you, so I imagine the bite will miss as well. Yes.
Thankfully for full defense.
Man, I almost got you again.
Right.
Lucilla.
Fuck with the face.
All right. Let me check something real quick. I probably don't have an angle there, do I?
Well, corner to corner you can do.
Okay.
So yeah, you'd have sight of it enough to do
Okay.
like a spell or something or whatever else you want to do.
Yeah. Because doing a knowledge check isn't an action, I believe.
I don't believe so. So
What
you can just do an action.
what knowledge
It's-
would this be?
This would be planes.
Planes. Okay. 22.
So yeah, you do know what these are. These are known as sin spawn. They regularly come across adventurers regularly come across these creatures in old Thessalonian ruins. They generally, from what people have gathered, correspond to certain sinful thoughts and personalities.
One of the 7 deadly sins.
Yes. And they generally can smell the targets of their particular sin.
Do I have a reasonable guess what this one would be?
You do not. They don't really. It's hard to really tell the different sins apart. They all
Gotcha.
kind of look the same, especially since any of them that do wear clothing have long since decayed to the point of recognition.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'm gonna 5-foot step over here. I will then spend my move action to pull out my sling. And I'm gonna sling one rock at this one right in front of Ephixa as a standard action.
You're gonna.
23 for 2 bludgeoning damage.
That'll hit. You get smacked in the face by a rock. Poor Charlie Brown. Ris'sh.
Right, well, seeing Lucilla sling at something and Fix charge around, I'm going to go ahead and armor up.
Yeah, we got company over here. Medium
And
height, pale, ugly. Associated with cardinal sins.
then move on in.
Is that your action and movement?
Yep, standard action to do that and movement, so.
No worries. Haldor. Can't wait to see what kind of damage you're going to output today.
Haldor smash.
Nothing but ones.
All right. Sadly, I have allies in the way, so I can't charge. So, let's just enter a rage.
After you make your attack, I do have to retcon something because it will be getting an attack of opportunity on Ris'sh because it has a reach weapon.
You can do that really quick while I add these bonuses.
Yeah.
You want.
So that would have been a 20 on Ris'sh for 8 damage if it hits. Which I assume even with your mage armor it would still hit.
Yeah, even if I tried to immediate action buff it. So yeah, 8 points of damage.
And that was my bad too. That means it also wouldn't have been able to use that against Ephixa from that spot, but it missed anyway, so there's no harm done there.
Mm.
I'll just chalk it up to the fact that it doesn't remember how to use it well.
Yeah, attack then 5-foot step to close ranks.
Yeah. Continue on, Haldor.
All right. I'm going to. Let me see. I don't know if I can do anything, but let's try this way. You can't. I don't know. It's iffy flanking.
That'd be flanking with Ephixa.
Okay.
Yeah, because again, edge to edge, that will still can be considered flanking.
All right. So I'll add that plus 2 to the attack. Okay, I'm going to power attack. So it'll be a minus 1 plus 2. I believe that's the same at second level, right?
Yeah. I believe it doesn't change until like 4th level, but I can't remember exactly.
I think it's.
And away we go.
Well, it
Jesus.
doesn't confirm, but it does do a sizable chunk. Like, I'll just say, it drops its Ranzor because you chop one of its arms off. As it's like almost black blood begins to ooze as its arm is just hanging on by a couple threads.
Never
Nice,
confirm.
you disarmed him.
Don't worry, gang. I hit it with a rock.
Always get massive damage, never confirm.
This one's going to pop out of the corner now as it sees some threats, and it's going to make an attack against Haldor. It's Ranzor. 16. Is your AC lowered when you rage?
Yes, so that does hit.
Yeah, so you take 6 points of damage. It is not close enough to bite you, unfortunately. That'll be all it can do. Emanuele.
What's all this chaos?
Routes the corner to see the horrible things.
The creature's hand splats into his face.
Yeah, the thing is brutalized, but Ris'sh isn't looking too great either.
Yep.
Alright. Can he see? We'll shoot at that one since it's not engaged yet.
Go for it.
And that is how far away? 35. So no point blank shot. And you're not. What is that ability called, Gombo?
What ability?
Their inspire ability.
Where you give
Yeah,
the.
it's just my bardic inspiration.
Okay, inspiration.
It's called naturalist, but it's just the bardic one.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, that doesn't confirm again, but it does hit it right across the torso. Its arm kind of just flail backwards in a grunt.
just noticed the notes you have on that orc horn bone there, Co. That's really morbid when you think about orcs as people.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, check out this mace. It's made from baby teeth.
And the
That's what
femur
gives
of
us
their
its power.
parents.
Man, I
Why
love
is that
making
coming
weapons.
up?
You might have notes checked on your weapon attack.
Alright, Fix will take a 2-weapon attack against this one because it's still upright, even though it's just down an arm.
Yeah, it's down an arm, but it's still up and seems to
Okay.
be aggressive as.
Take a scimitar swing.
That'll hit, and that one will down it.
Oh, okay. Then,
So you're not locked into a 2-weapon if you only
yeah.
do the first attack. You still take the penalties to attack with 2-weapon fighting, but I'm not going to be like, oh, now you can't do your movement.
Oh yeah, that would have been a -2 to the attack, but I imagine 20 would still
The
hit.
20 will still hit. You have the 2-weapon fighting fee, right?
Yes.
Gotcha. So
Then,
like if it's not, if you don't, then that's a lot more penalties.
yeah. Then Fix will move up and try to tank the attack of opportunity here.
It'll swing at you with the attack of opportunity.
Nope.
14 will miss.
And that will be my full turn.
So that since spawn was downed. Lucilla.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. I've got one bab now, so I can swap to my whip while I'm moving as part of a move action, if I understand correctly.
Yes.
So I can swap to that whip, and now I am going to try to make a trip attack against that one. So CNB 17.
17 is against CMD. It does trip it.
Woo! So anything I jones it around the ankles, just give it a tug. Goes down.
That's on you. Yeesh.
For the sake of just argument, I'm just gonna say I just stuck the sun rod in like my belt because since it doesn't light me on fire, I don't have to hold it in my hand.
Yeah. You just use it to tie up your hair for the meantime.
It's a foot long. That would be weird.
Oh,
I've seen weirder hairdos.
I know.
Bound to cover that one's corpse. Claw attack. No problem, miss.
Yeah, that will miss.
Well, you would have hit its head, but then I tripped it.
Actually, yeah, no, that's it's prone, so.
+4. That's still
I
limits.
guess. Yeah, okay. Didn't think so, but still.
It's okay. Haldor's gonna come and just destroy it.
Oh yeah. The one-shot kid.
Michael, you're there?
Yeah.
Okay. It is your turn, so. I have a feeling I know what Haldor does best.
Yep. Great sword time. And the same thing, power attacking.
That'll hit, and that'll destroy that one.
Jeez.
You guys got a beast on your hands.
And
Yeah. You back the greatsword with a lot of strength. It'll do shit like that.
I tripped it. So yeah. After that flurry of melee cams down, catch my breath for a moment, and go, whew. Well, I think we're on the right track to ruins, though.
Definitely a good sign, I think. Even though I don't know what these are, but
yeah,
Thin
Old Warriors.
spawn.
What?
They stink
Thin
of
spawn.
evil.
Oh yeah, big time. Some sort of magical amalgamation or corrupted creature. They're commonly found in Thessalonian ruins around here. So if they're down here, that means there's a ruin down here.
Fix is gonna look over them, see if there's any sort of holy iconography on them, or if they're affixed to any sort of deity in particular.
Yeah, roll me a religion check.
As you're doing that, Lucilia's just keep on explaining how they're attracted to people of certain sins. So if they get real friendly, might have some explaining to do.
Let's see. There we go. 15.
Looking on, they don't really have any iconography of any kind. The clothes that they have on are very very old, to the point where they're barely if you touch it, they practically can rip with just a lift of any kind of fabric it has on it, and its weapons are long since rusted and gross.
Now, out of curiosity, since I have the emissary familiar, I'm obviously not going to use it for most roles, but since he does basically serve as the religious liaison, would it be possible for me to roll for him as well?
Yeah, you don't have the ability to communicate with it right now, but I don't think you can speak with it until level 4.
Oh, yep, that's true.
Otherwise, I would say that's completely fine. But it's going to be one of those things that might be able to give you some kind of indication.
Just point to some particular
areas. So you can go ahead and roll for it, but yeah, it doesn't notice anything more than you.
Okay.
It just gets back from its coffee break.
Yeah, just keep that in mind, that you can still have it roll, but it's going to be limited in what it can tell you until you can speak with it. Yeah, with that quick flurry of motion and Haldor practically cleaving two in twain.
As you want to do.
Yep. I mean, don't get me wrong, the rest of you did pretty good amount of support too. Lucilla tripping and Ephixa trying to act as the tank, which is impressive for someone who kept getting smacked the last couple of weeks.
She is learning to be more defensive with her maneuvers.
3 damage. How is Ris'sh looking, by the way?
9 out of 19, so.
On a scale of 1 to 19, I'm feeling about a 9.
All right, let me see here. All right, well.
It's probably a sizable wound, given.
This is just the tip of the iceberg, so. All right, come over here. Got a little something for you. Say a little magic word and touch you. You heal 4 hit points.
Thanks, Jewelman.
It's better than nothing.
The D8. Always unforgiving on the healing.
Yeah, if it was 2d4, it would have been a lot better. Well, sounds like my going straight idea was the right one.
Fix is going to check this back wall, see if they're protecting anything or just loitering here.
Roll me a perception. Doesn't look like there's anything. It just looks like an empty cave that, looking on the ground, you can tell that there's been definitely a shifting of motion in here. But other than that, you don't really see anything.
Guard post?
Could be. Or just hanging out area.
I assume I see that since it just appeared at my sight.
It does, yeah. If your sight can see it, I set it up so you can see.
Yeah, I hold out the sun rod around the corner and I see that and I go, oh, we got ruins.
Yep. And up north, you can kind of make out this path forks again.
Yeah, looks like a stone room down this way. I'm gonna go check it out.
Are those bones? Are those rocks?
Right, now that I'm a little bit closer, can I tell?
Yeah, give me 1 second because there's some flavor text. I'm just trying to fix up a couple mistakes on this map.
Yeah, no problem.
Because some of the lines just didn't match up exactly how I wanted them to. I don't want y'all getting spoiled too much.
I have to say, you're winning me over with this dynamic lighting stuff, Richard. I might start incorporating this.
It works really well once you can figure out how to do it.
Yeah, I might incorporate it for a few dungeons.
If it doesn't bog down the system like it did with Way of the Wicked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not lagging out right now, which is
Yeah, it hasn't been lagging out as much, so that's good.
Mhm.
It's also helpful because I'm not using the new dynamic lighting, and that one is bogging down the system currently.
Mm.
But anyway, yeah, looking in, the original purpose of this chamber is unclear at this point.
Mhm.
Large mounds of rubble lie strewn on the floor. And the wall here to the west has like decayed to the point where it has collapsed. That made way for this tunnel.
Gotcha. And I'm guessing that's a door.
It is.
All right. I'm gonna walk right up to the lip here, but not set foot onto the worked stone. And I want to give a perception check for traps, ambushes, and the like.
Go for it.
11.
11. Looking around, it seems that most of the rubble on the ground here
Mhm.
consists of different forms of like pottery and urns that have long since either crumbled or just have been broken over time.
Oh no, another protagonist already got all the loot.
Yeah, the entire time they're just screaming, yeah!
The door suddenly opens, it closes, and all the pots are back there.
Well, look, a ceramic urn is not a perishable good, so you got to stimulate the market.
Well, I'm gonna set foot into the room.
Fix will be
I-
sticking by your side.
I don't explode, I assume.
Yep, nothing seems to be going on.
All right. Well, unless you all want to root around in the pottery, I'm gonna check out this door.
Yeah, Fix will root around the pottery.
If you find some old, almost petrified food of some kind. The best guess you can do is maybe it used to be a carrot or a pickle or something. It's more rock than food anymore.
You shouldn't eat that.
I'm just curious why it petrified rather than rotted.
So Lucilla, are you just opening the door or are you checking it?
I'm inspecting it first.
It's this very old stone door. You can go ahead and give me a perception if you want to see, like, check for traps or anything.
Sure. See if there's locks or anything of the like. 25. That's better.
No locks. It just seems old, and while it would be a little tough to open, it's still possible for you to open even as a halfling with your modicum of strength. It just will take a little bit of a grunty push.
Yeah,
Fix would put her hand on your shoulder if you go to open it. But before you do that, I might be just overthinking this, but what would cause an organic material to petrify rather than rot down here? And again, she holds up the fruit.
Let's see. Knowledge nature 25. I'll quickly Google petrification. I assume I'm all right in my rights for this, Richard.
Yeah.
Well, none.
For mundane
Supernatural.
means. All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if I'm correct about it, which I could be wrong, I don't want to have to Google this right now. I think it has to do with pickling. And when the pickling dissolves, it doesn't just rot like normal food would.
It's also the replacement of organic material with minerals in porous deposits. So it just meant that it was rapidly infused with mineral deposits. Not entirely impossible given erosion and stuff like that.
That used to happen sometimes when we would store carrots in sand and forget them.
Yeah, it might just be dehydrated and then old is all old.
Okay.
So
Part
says,
of the
I mean,
reason.
it's a fair point to bring up. There might be a Medusa that can only turn food into stone down.
Yeah, there's
That'd be one way to preserve food is you just have them do that and you just invest in like depetrification potions.
It's one of the reasons honey has an effectively eternal shelf life is that it's a solution that's got so little water in it, anything that gets in it that has water in it gets the water sucked out.
Huh.
All right, I'm almost pull this door open.
Go for it. Don't turn to stone.
Okay, you open up the doorway to a very old but still quite intact hallway.
Is the floor continuous smooth stone or is it tiled?
It is tiled, but it is broken in pieces. It's not as clean as the way it looks.
Okay.
It's like different pieces are broken up. Some of them are missing, but for the most part, it's still rather well put together for how old this place seems to be.
So less likely to be pressure plates. The content of the walls still smooth stone as well.
Again, some decay, some erosion. Some of it,
Mhm.
it used to look smooth. Looks like it's worn down over time and is beginning to take on the rocky texture again.
Mhm.
But
Okay, guys. I'm 85% certain that there won't be flying poison darts in this hallway, but don't quote me.
Lucilla, your perceptions that you have been doing, you have noticed that for how old that some of this stuff seems to be,
Mhm.
it is remarkably held up, like almost unnaturally so.
Yeah.
And if the sin spawn in the beginning were any indication, that means that this is probably at least dated back to Thassalon, which is over 10,000 years old. And the fact that it's still this well put together is impressive.
One might say there's magic at work. I'm a poke forward and look around that corner there.
Yep. Poking your head around, you do see that the hallway continues.
Mhm.
It makes its way into a bend here.
Also, just for the record, when I look around some of these blind corners like this, I would like to use my hand mirror.
Yeah, that's no problem.
It's kind of why I bought it. Didn't expect to run into vampires or anything.
If you're trying to just keep a I would say you can roll a stealth, but you do have light, so that will cause some penalties.
Yeah, I figured it was
Sorry.
just not make sounds.
Tied to a stick, I'll be tactical halfling action.
17. So maybe I
Wait,
just
17.
don't make two. Oh, 16, sorry.
I'm like, what odds are you not telling me? But yeah, you're not making any sounds per se. You do still have the light, so if something can see the light, they would notice that something's coming. But you're able to use your mirror to kind of keep an eye out.
Yeah, I'm just moving forward 20 feet at a time as like a move action, and so yeah, people can move their own tokens. Peek around the corner here. Don't see much of anything. Peek out a little farther.
Yeah.
Hey, we got action.
Yeah, you see a pathway heading this direction, as well as another one up here where you can see the vague outlines of what looks like. You can't really tell. It could be a statue. It could be a stone pillar.
Mhm.
It's really hard to tell from here.
Do
And
we
is
hear a thunk coming from behind us as a snake futilely tries to squeeze in behind us?
Nah.
FYI, they will not be able to get through that door.
Is that looks like a hole in the wall to like a cave section?
Yes.
Gotcha. Step up. All right.
And every time I think I covered every little
Yeah.
nook and cranny of the polygon thing. It's not a big deal, but I'm like, man. It'll be better in future ones.
I'm keeping my eye out for like traps and anything this whole time. So let me know if I need
Just go ahead and give me a general perception for now.
Okay.
And I'll ask you if something comes up. I'll have you roll another one. But this is just you actively keeping a lookout.
I clicked it. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, you do not see anything that could be possibly construed as a trap. If there was any down here, you think that they probably have been triggered long ago so far, from what you can tell.
Yeah. Especially with a natural 20. Lucilla's outwardly keeping it cool, but this is her first actual dungeon as an adventurer, so she is absolutely cloud nine right now. All right, this tunnel looks like it goes way down and switches back. I'm gonna keep checking out this larger room up here.
As you approach, this red marble statue is of a strikingly beautiful, but at the same time monstrously enraged human woman that stands in this middle of it stands in the middle of this room. Her stony expression is twisted in fury. She's wearing flowing robes, her long hair is held back from her face by an intricate headdress of hooks and blades. In her left hand, she carries a large book, the face of which is inscribed with a 7-pointed star. In her right hand glitters a metal and ivory ranzor.
What's a ranzor look like again?
I can Google and link it real quick.
And then I'm gonna do some knowledge rolls because that feels like something.
If I remember right, it's a big scimitar, but
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured too. But
More or less, it's like a scimitar spear.
okay,
Yeah, like
I mean, this is just. Oh, okay, yeah. This was more of just out of curiosity. I didn't think that was going to be the bit of information that was going to crack this case wide open.
pole arm.
All right, I'm
What was I
going to
thinking of?
advance another 5 feet, and I want to. I guess would this be a history to identify the figure or a?
it
religion?
would, yes.
Okay. No, I'm not going to use that right now. 17?
You don't know. It looks like it was someone important, but
Do I recognize the 7-pointed star symbol on the book?
you do. It does come up a lot in Thessalonian ruins.
Mhm.
It is known as the Sahedron rune, the Sahedron star.
Okay.
I'll type it out so you can see the spelling.
Yeah. It's just a commonly repeated symbol.
Yeah.
Symbol. Don't know. What
It has to
is
do
there.
with the schools of magic.
Gotcha.
Don't know why I was thinking Falchion when I heard Ransour.
The statue itself is made of, again, this red marble. It still has held up amazingly well. The weapon itself does look like it's detachable.
Oh.
It is made of metal and ivory.
Looting
Okay.
time.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Without touching it, I cast detect magic.
So you do detect magic all around you. There does seem to be a very residual magic in this area.
Mm-hmm.
Its abjuration magic seems like some kind of. You can kind of guess right that you probably think that there's some kind of protective magic that was put on here long ago that has kept it from completely collapsing. Ranzor itself doesn't have produce any kind of magical aura from it.
Nor the statue.
Or the statue.
Yeah. Mechanical trap?
Okay. Lucilla takes a moment, stops where she is, since she's kind of blocking the way, turns around to face everyone, goes, okay, so, how many of you are familiar with temples like this?
No.
Okay, so this entire place is radiating abjuration magic. So it's still pretty active. And as you see, that spear-looking thing held by the statue is removable. Now, odds are extremely good that's a trap. So I bring this up because we need to keep our heads on a swivel about this kind of thing. Otherwise, it won't end well for us. Not everyone here. Looking at you, Emanuele.
No one said that anything would end down here.
Circle back, take when leaving, yes?
If you want, I'm going to get a closer look at the statue, but we got a lot of hallways around here, so just be aware. Over here. I don't see any writing by chance, do I?
You do not. You can roll perception if you like on a statue. If
Yep.
You're trying to get a good look at it.
I am. 26.
Yeah, looking at it, you don't see any kind of traps of any kind.
Mhm.
It just looks like a statue that, honestly, the way that it looks and the way from the top of the glassworks, it
Mhm.
looks remarkably similar to a setup of their little welcoming hall.
Okay. And the spears, the weapons just removable as like a
It just
convenience?
looks like it was put in place,
Mhm.
but it is an actual weapon, and it has just been put in like where the hand goes. It's not like fused into it or like welded into it or anything.
Gotcha. And the head of the weapon doesn't have like any engravings or anything on it that make me think it's like a key.
No,
Okay.
at least not that you can gather.
Yeah. I was just looking for like distinctive engravings or markings or stuff like that. So, okay. So it looks like we got stairs going up here, if I'm reading this map correctly.
They would be like coming up if you were going this way. This is going down right here.
Okay, so we got stairs going down deeper, and we got a door as well.
Plus hole we passed back there.
Mm-hmm.
And looked like tunnel. Poking in, head down. The big, not carved opening.
Well, if my spatial awareness is on, I think that probably links up to the other tunnel we were walking.
Yes. But goes deeper that way.
Well, what's it gonna be, everyone? This is a democracy. It's not dealer's choice.
Maybe links up with door here. Clear entryway, then make sure deeper. Yes.
Yeah, if we think something might link up, we should go there first and make sure, just so we know.
All right. I'll go inspect this door then.
I'll let your 26 carry over because you were using it to inspect the room.
Yep.
This door looks a lot like the other one. It doesn't look like if there was any kind of traps, it's so old now that if it was mechanical, it wouldn't work, and if it was magical, you would have detected it.
Right, because I can disable magical traps. I'm very excited about that. Well,
this is a handy skill.
In for a copper. I'm gonna open up this door.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, opening this room up, this large chamber was clearly at once a prison. Testified by the 20 cells that line this room's perimeter. This rickety-looking wooden platform overlooks the room with 2 flights of stairs descending to the prison floor 10 feet below. A 5-foot wide walkway runs from the northern edge of the platform to a passageway to the east.
Evil temple have prison. Sacrifices?
Was that something that we know the Thessalonians really did? I could give
There's
it a
not a lot of history on in this book. There's actually not a lot of history of Thassalon been revealed yet.
Gotcha.
This is the first AP of Galarian.
Okay, that's very.
In terms of Thessalonia, they know some stuff, but a lot of it is hearsay or theory.
Mm-hmm.
They know that they were very malicious in their pursuits, so the idea of there being sacrifices is possible.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and Ris'sh and Lucilla, since you're both in the room, roll me perceptions.
Yep. 17.
Okay. You don't really see anything out of the ordinary. These all seem like relatively empty. So there looks like there's some debris of bone and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But Lucilla, as you step there,
oh boy,
you're able to see it from that angle just at the same time that it happens. A arm comes out from below this wooden platform to grab at you, Lucilla. So before we I'll bring up the turn order now to start rolling, but it's going to get a surprise attack on you.
Higher than a 17 on stealth. Good for it.
It took a 10
Ah, that makes sense.
because it heard the fighting going on down in the cave.
17 on my again. Yep, that'll hit for 4 damage.
Yep.
All right. Oh, by the way, I would have gotten this with my previous planes check, but what creature type is this? It's outsider?
It's an aberration.
Aberration. Okay.
And you do begin to see the movements of others below as well, by the way. They break stealth at the same time, so I'm not going to...
We got company.
Manny company.
Is this a level platform or is it descending?
This is about 10 feet up of the ground level.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
And they're on the ground
It's
level. I'm gonna
Okay.
mark them in a second.
okay.
Yeah, because he said the walkway connected this tunnel over here.
Yeah.
Jesus, my initiatives. So anyone with a blue marker is on ground level. So like Ris'sh, you're on ground level there. We'll just keep it easier for now. Emanuele's way back there. Hey guys, I'm coming.
Yeah, I was gonna go ahead and have him walk back there, so I just moved him back there. Figured that'd be about the right timing for
Okay, so
when it all started.
Mm-hmm.
this one's going to move to here. This one's going to move to here. It's going to aid its friend because it can't reach anybody.
Mm-hmm.
This one's actually not going to attack Lucilla. It's going to be going underneath the rafters and heading over to Ris'sh.
It's comforting.
Does Lucilla get attack of opportunity?
It's flat-footed right now because she hasn't acted yet.
Also, I only have a whip in my hand, and I can't AOO with that without Whipmaster.
Gotcha.
So this bite is against Lucilla.
Because it's dumb. That will miss.
With your flat-footed?
Oh, with flat-footed, let me see.
Because you haven't acted yet, so you're still under flat-footed.
Yeah, no, that does hit.
Okay, so you take 7 damage, and I need you to roll me a will save.
Okay, hold on. Once roll 20 lets me edit my token health. There we go. I'm not down, but I'm low. Of course.
So, you're as this bites you, you become overwhelmed with this rage. You just want to lash out at something. You are sickened for 4 minutes.
All right.
As this just rage is just festering inside of you.
Well, I think
Next
we
fight
can guess that
against
their wrath spawn now.
Ris'sh, it will miss you.
Yeah.
Yeah, as it's running, it trips over a stray bone, and as it leans forward and like misses you by a hair. Well, more than a hair with that roll.
Mm-hmm.
But that will be the entire Sin Spawn turn. Ephixa.
5-foot step. 2-weapon fight. 1 attack against this one. 1 attack against this one.
Okay.
All right. So, scimitar versus the one on the left. Minus fighting. There we go. Ooh, doesn't
Well,
confirm.
not confirm, but it does hit and take a big chunk out of it.
All right, and now the next one.
That will miss.
All right.
I should get some battle music on here.
Well, since it came to me, all of which will probably miss except maybe the claw.
The first claw will hit.
Huzzah. 4 whole damage.
Hey, every point counts.
Oh, yeah.
Besides,
Nice
you're
until
also
Haldor gets in here.
Yeah, you're just softening it up for Haldor. Lucilla, you were very hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Also very angry.
Is there a wall right here?
No, this is just like a sheer drop down here.
Okay, I was just thinking, because if I moved here, I could still technically whip across and hit him.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And these ones don't have those rangers that the first two had, by the way.
All right, but if I
Are
They're
they
all
just
just
attacking
teeth and
barehanded?
claw. Yep,
Okay.
teeth and claw.
can I 5-foot step like this?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay,
You're a nimble halfling.
5-foot step there. Whip this guy with as much raging prejudice as I can.
And they're
Nope.
unarmored. +2 for flanking? Well, I guess
Yeah,
that probably
it
still
still
missed.
doesn't-
That's 9. If I could hit their CMD on a 9, I would be amazed.
Yeah, unfortunately, that doesn't do anything. Haldor, you're up.
All right. Well, I know what I'm gonna do. Enter rage, as a barbarian does.
And they're off to do.
Yes. Quite so. And then I am going to charge power attack.
Okay. By the way, I like how the token has the same body proportions as the Haldor picture.
Yeah.
If you charge to there, it will get an attack on you. Because you're charging through a threatened space.
Yeah, but I won't get flanking if I go there, right?
No. I'm just letting you know. Bite at you for 16, so that will confirm. So that'll do a total of 6 damage. And I'll need a will save from you.
All right.
Are you sure you want to make him mad?
If he fails it.
Well, I do. My will save is 0, but I think it's a plus.
Although if
Plus
it's
1
one
when
of
you're
the-
raging, or plus
It-
2.
there's a +2
rage.
for raising, yeah.
Yeah. Close.
Although if it's one of those that turns his rage into a berserker rage, like he just attacks anything and everything, we're all fucked and it's a TPK.
Well, you guys are. I'm jumping on a snake and getting the hell out of here.
Then you'll
but,
just die being ground into the walls.
Yeah.
Is it a spell supernatural or spell like ability?
It's a supernatural.
Okay, so I will get a plus 4, all things considered. So we'll save.
That will fail. So you are sickened for 1 minute. But on the upside, this rage fills you so full of hate that you already feel when you rage that it makes this turn of rage cost nothing. So it doesn't actually reduce your daily allotment of rage for this turn.
Okay. So second does what?
-2 to attack rolls and a bunch of other things.
Shaken it's basically
minus-
shaken plus 2 minus. So -2 to attack, damage, saves, skill checks, and ability checks.
Cool. So canceled out the charge.
And it'll lower the damage by 2 as well.
Lame. What?
Just get a natural 20 like everyone else is seeming to be doing right now.
You said as I got a natural 1.
Jesus. Okay.
So yeah, you buy this and you feel this rage. So as you're charging forward, you just swing your sword one-handed as you turn and just lop this thing's head off.
And I imagine it keeps going for a second.
Yeah. And it just kind of just stumbles onto the ground out here, like it just doesn't know what it's doing.
Lucilia's just yelling, egging him on, like, yeah, beat the shit out of him.
I've got a better picture. As he's running to charge by it, he connects, knocks its head off, and the decapitated head bites him.
That's a good one. Yeah, like you charge through and just cut its head, and the head flies towards you and bites you like on the neck or head or something before you swat it away. And yeah, that's a good one. Emanuele, You don't know what's happening. You're all the way down there.
All right. Imagine he heard Haldor's rage power up.
Oh yeah.
His Dragon Ball Z
jogging.
sound.
Yeah, he went Super Viking.
What is that?
That looks like it's a drop from the tunnel. Here, it drops down into what looks like, well, from Ris'sh being there, a lit room of some kind.
Oh, can he see Ris'sh?
You can kind of see his feet. It's the way the angle's down.
Oh my god, Emanuele really did just go off in a different direction.
Yeah. 25, 20, that's 45.
Hey guys, are you fighting? I hear noises.
What's your movement?
And he would have told Juan to come. Can Juan get through this doorway?
Let's see. What's its movement?
40 feet. I just mean, can he fit?
He can, but he was all the way down here. So the question is,
I didn't measure.
He'd be at this intersection down here.
Okay. And then move
because it's still squeezing through that part of the tunnel, so it would have been double movement.
Gotcha.
So,
okay. Then he'll just sit
he
down
can go through there, and he can get through this door a little if you squeeze, but it's going to take like an action to get through.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right. Well, Emanuele just comes in running with his bow drawn, and what's going on? More of these things. Ugh.
Fucking do something, dipshit!
So a full attack is going to go on to Ephixa. So first the bite, which will miss. And then 2 claws, which will both miss. It's just flailing against your shield wildly. The downside is there's going to be now a full attack on Ris'sh. Which might not be a bad side, because apparently I can't roll. Nope,
Yeah, now
18.
you can.
As an immediate action, I'll pop the shield portion of Armored Mask.
To deflect damage and take nothing. And then 1 more claw, which will not do anything. Ephixa.
Full. Yeah, we'll do a full attack against that one.
Go for it. Show him what for.
Yeah. Oh, that should be 2 less, so 16.
That'll still hit.
So it's 2 minutes and
that one will also hit. As you just stab at it and then just smack it against the face.
I'm starting to get used to this whole thing, and she kind of says this as she's waving her sword and shield around.
This whole fighting business.
Right.
Ris'sh, what shall you do?
just more angry reptile noises and biting and clawing. Yeah, the bite
Hit,
will hit,
miss, hit.
Oh, yeah. So 5 more.
Yep, it is taking damage. It's just a little slow going.
Mm-hmm.
Lucilla.
I'm a step over and angry trip this one. So it's going to be -2 to this. Because I believe it didn't say CMB, but it says attack rolls. So I think
Yeah,
Flanking,
so,
though?
yeah, you're technically flanking.
Okay, cool. So it'll just be flat roll then. 22.
Yeah, that'll trip it. Just screaming, have a nice fall.
Yeah. Curb stomp is nuts.
I like angry Lucilla.
Same here.
Occasionally you just hear swear words you don't understand because I'm pretty sure none of you speak Halfling. Because it's a language that's it's a language that all Halflings know, but it's never used in like any AP ever.
Do a linguistics roll so you could just make up your own swear language.
It's somehow more secret than Druid.
How long was I sickened for, Richard?
1 minute.
1 minute. Okay.
So you're still second now.
Whatever. 5 foot step. power attack, but it's just going to cancel out the power attack.
Remember to, by the way, to keep track of how many rages, because we're doing a dungeon crawl. There's a good chance that you could run out.
That's why I haven't used any of my bardic yet.
Yeah, I've got it tracked on the sheet.
Gotcha. Okay.
If you go and you look at additional and go look at features and traits, you can see 6 out of 8.
I try not to do that too much with you, because with your guys' sheets, because if I move it around, it moves it for you too. So if you're trying to roll something or check something, it fucks it up.
All right, so -2 on the attack.
-2 on the attack, and then -2 on the damage.
So power divided by -1, so that'd be minus. Rage would be +2. That's just one. Just a minute. Oh, the sheet covers up everything. No, I can't tell if Ephixa is threatening this one or not because of the wall.
She is threatening it, yeah.
Okay, so I won't get the damage from axe to grind. So +2 from rage, -2 from sicken, so that evens out to 0. And then minus what to damage?
2.
2. Also evens out to 0.
Yep.
And then I'll just go ahead and do power attack. So that'll be a -1 and a 2 +2.
That'll hit for 13 damage. This time it is still up because you didn't get max numbers, but it is hurting very bad. Emanuele.
All right, Emanuele is going to step over here, 5-foot step, and then say to Haldor, "Other side, use it. Use the other side," and give him
shit!
combat combat advice. So he gets +2, and then attempt to use covering fire. If he hits, he'll also get a +2 to AC. But I think I'm shooting at a -4 here since it's into melee.
Yeah, either one are into melee. Which one are you targeting?
This one right here.
Okay.
But so
Is that counting the -4, or is that?
No, it'd be an 11.
Okay, so that will miss.
All right, then you don't get the +2 to AC, just +2 to hit.
Okay. And then it's the Sinswan's turn. This one's going to try to swing at Haldor for all it's worth. First the bite, which you have a -2 AC?
For raging, I imagine so.
Michael, are you muted?
He's a mutant.
Yes, I have a -2.
Okay. So I will need another will save from you.
Oh,
So you are now staggered as this rage has just become overwhelming. And it still gets 2 more claws on you. We'll miss.
Wait. That's
What?
It says I rolled a 1, but I have a +4.
You rolled a natural 1.
Yeah,
You didn't
but it's not.
calculate the +4 for some reason.
Mm.
Either way, it would still be a failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the last time. I guess
You rolled
Doesn't
pretty low
count.
last time too, though.
I rolled like an 11.
Oh yeah, it did have the +4 the last time though. I scrolled up and it did have it.
Okay.
So you also take another 2 damage as one of the claws scrape against you. And then the other one is going to try to get up from standing. So Ris'sh, you can take an attack if you wish. That will hit for 3 damage. And it's just going to try to bite at you for 7 damage, and I need a will save.
Mm-hmm.
As you are not overcome with feelings of rage, but you do kind of get the feelings of them to begin with, but then you kind of shrug it away.
So that's a pretty deep bite.
Mm-hmm. You're glad you didn't get a full round attack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fix it. You're not the one getting attacked full max damage this time.
Right. This time, same as last, full round attack against that one.
Go for it.
Scimitar.
That will hit, but not confirm. But that's still enough to drop it.
Okay.
As you just
Yeah.
stab at it from the corner of the wall, your blade just goes between you and Haldor, stabbing into its chest.
Okay. And then she is going to run and try to assist Lizard Buddy.
Gotcha. Speaking of Lizard Buddy.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go ahead and 5 foot up and then keep it a-going.
Those will all miss, unfortunately.
Yep. Yeah, well.
He's no longer prone. Lucilla.
Make him prone. Nope.
Nope. Haldor.
Okay.
You're staggered, so you have a move or a standard action.
Well, I am pretty damaged.
Throw your sword at him.
Let's see. Did we get a... I don't have anything in my inventory. Yeah.
I will say that since I always forget this is a rule, you can charge if you can only do a standard action. You just can't do double your movement.
Ah,
That's helpful.
of course, you know.
I remember reading that when I was trying to play a martial character, and I keep forgetting that was a rule.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
So the question is, since he technically can't charge through Ephixa, can he
Yo,
charge
yeah.
and fall 10 feet?
You can just charge right here and still hit it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know if it was like an
Oh, is
elevation
that not
thing.
like a wall or a barrier?
It's not. There's not a wall. It's just like wooden walkway down, and it's like 10 feet here from the top here, but it's only 5 feet difference from here to here, so it's
Okay.
plenty of reach to hit it.
All right. Charging there. Charge.
Should have all the same calculations as before, but just adding charge.
Yeah. So that'll bring me to a total of a +1. A temporary attack. Let's go. 14.
That will miss, unfortunately.
Can't want them all.
It's with that angle, it just wasn't quite in Haldor's cards. Emanuele.
All right, Emanuele will 5 foot step and then attempt the same, but this time talking to Ris'sh.
That will miss. This thing's turn. It's going to full attack. It's going to split them up, bite Ephixa, and then a claw on Haldor and Ris'sh.
Oh, Haldor, did you add your No, that was last time. Never mind.
So bite on Ephixa, 22.
That'll hit.
I need a will save.
No, you're right, Cope. You gave me that this time. That might hit.
Yeah, then it would add 2 to your attack.
Oh, so that would have hit. So that might save Ephixa some heartache.
So 16.
Yeah, so it would make it 16. So, yeah, rewind it a couple turns. Haldor, you do, in fact, cleave this one in half as well.
Really, I just wanted
Yay.
to save an arrow.
I knew it didn't feel right that I didn't kill something.
I would like to spend my next action to drop my whip and attempt to pry up one of these old boards to throw at the corpse.
Yeah, you try to do it. It's actually, despite it looking rickety, it is remarkably put together.
I keep trying.
And eventually, after 4 minutes of trying, your rage subsides.
I start stabbing it with my short sword, swearing in angry hobbit noises.
What is wrong with you?
It's all tunnel vision right now. The walkway has it coming.
Venom.
Fix will look at Ris'sh's wounds and say, I managed to do this to myself before, but do you mind if I try mending your wound?
Free to try, yes.
Fix will put her hand on the wound and kind of close her eyes and focus and use lay on hands.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of you that are all pretty hurt now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, out of curiosity, the Student of Faith campaign trait. Oh, I guess that wouldn't apply. It says +1 cast level for cure spells, but that doesn't apply. So it's only channeling that I get the benefit from that from. So okay, disregard. So
If you or cure wounds.
1d6, 2 hit points back. It's something.
I mean, you guys have potions, so you
Yeah.
always have fallbacks.
Yep. That's the eternal calculus of permanently consumed versus daily consumed.
She'll try it again and see if she could get better this time around. 3. It is better. It literally couldn't get worse.
I will drink my potion as I am coming down from my fury. I always. Oh, wait, that's not a potion. It's a cure light wound scroll. So I'll use it anyway. Same difference. I heal myself for 5.
It should only be a +1, by the way, because it's a scroll.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it used my caster level or not. Okay, well, that's no problem.
There's just special abilities that let you do that with like certain prestige classes. But...
You know, all the years I've played Pathfinder, this is like the second time I've ever used a scroll. So
no, that's fair. Unless you're
Emanuele
playing
would
like a
come
wizard,
over
and generally you don't use them as often.
Emanuele would come over to Haldor and rub his hands together and say, "Here, I know a trick to help with those wounds. I've only done it on animals, but I don't see why it wouldn't work on a big lad like you."
don't eat the salt lick.
Am I supposed to be offended?
I mean, it depends on if you feel like 9 hit points is offensive.
Also, if that's magic, technically, I think he has to try to save.
Only if
against
he's
it.
raging, and this is
Oh, only if he's raging.
Yeah, that's the one nice thing about superstition. It doesn't affect like constant. It's only when you're raging. So out of combat healing is possible.
And it will certainly work on you. And he says that to Ris'sh. Don't know if you caught the jab there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whew, okay, guys, just saw red there for a minute.
I
This
certainly say.
this bridge had it coming, though. That's what I have to say.
No, I can see that. Helping out these creatures as it did.
Some venom in their bite, yes. You got bit, I got bit, Haldor got bit.
Whew, guessing those are the rage ones.
Wrath?
Sure.
Would you like me to try to mend your wounds?
I wouldn't say no.
Alright, give it a shot. 5 more hit points. More lay on hands for the day as a pocket emergency heal.
Yeah,
This is very rare that we have 3 characters that can heal.
Right?
but we're all not like dedicated healers. We're all like so
Yeah.
Yeah.
like I can heal. I'm just not great.
Yeah.
I did take the racial or the trait that allows me to reroll natural ones whenever I use lay on hands, so that's definitely helpful.
Yeah, that is
Especially
very
when I get a bigger pool.
Yeah,
So
you can get
taking-
extra lay on hands, I think. you get 2, or extra channel, you get 2 extra.
So taking the minutes while we're recouping to examine the cells, only the one with the drop down into it from above is anything special, it would seem.
Yeah, looking around, the rest of them all have a lot of them have bones, which again, if it wasn't for the preservative magics that you kind of detected around here, they should have been long gone by now. But they are still there. They still dry and brittle, but they've weathered the passage of time moderately. Doesn't look like there's anything super fancy in there.
Just
I'll
bones
say-
itself.
I was gonna save you guys the perceptions and just let you know you won't be able to really find anything in the cells.
May want to go deeper. Probably
have to.
more.
Gonna have to at some point.
What about that tunnel we never went down?
Which one?
Hallway on other side of
Oh
statue.
yeah, there were 2.
Yeah. In character, which one?
The one back there in the hall. Never mind.
Looks like we
Might
got
loop around.
2 doors down here.
Yeah. It's a little farther. You'd have to get a little closer to see any details of the room.
Yeah, I just figured maybe it could pick out the rough silhouette of a door.
Yes, you do.
I'm gonna give a perception again.
Yeah. When I first did this is the first time I tried to use the dynamic lighting thing, so I messed up a little bit. That's how you would actually see it, I think.
Gotcha.
But I'm not gonna. I'll just say that you can see the door slightly anyway.
Keeping my eyes out for traps.
Yep. So let's see.
22.
As far as you can tell, there doesn't seem to be any traps of any kind. As you get closer to this room, you do begin to see some ancient pieces of different that seem to function. Words. This room contains several ancient relics of what appear to be torture implements. Their function and style seem to be strange and archaic. In one of the corners of this room sits a spherical cage with spikes protruding inward from iron bars. In another corner stands what appears to be a star-shaped wooden frame. Its surface studded with hooks. The center of the room is a long table covered in leather straps and a number of cranks that seem to be designed to rotate and swivel.
We got some Zon-Kuthon shit up in here.
Yeah, they're all very decayed or rusted, but you can still make out the entire shapes and everything of them. Hold on. Well, it's too late now. I'll just say, you know what? That door is ajar because you guys can see down it anyway.
Yeah, I noticed that. But
It's
actually,
okay.
we're approaching the 2-hour mark. Might I request a bio since we're on combat?
Yeah,
Works for me.
this is a good point to bio it up.
I'll be in their quarry.
Yep.
That boy ain't right.
Yeah. Well, since we were waiting for them to come down, one of them was 4 minutes out, I think it's safe to assume the shield part of the spell is worn off.
Yeah.
That's only 2 minutes at this level. So that is a very nice use of a ability slot.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure if that hit you, you'd been even lower.
Oh yeah. Gonna be hanging back for the rest of the day at least. Kind of figure that Rancer is just a fancy spear if I take it. I can't use any of its abilities, but I'd be able to stab without penalty, yes?
Well, Rancer is a martial weapon.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'd kind of favored by asking for spears.
Don't worry, the loot will come. I think I told you guys originally. Runelords is a very slow burn when it comes to magical swag as you level. Like, you won't get a whole ton. Like, you'll get some, don't get me wrong. But you won't be getting, like, waves of treasure in the first couple books.
At level 10, you open a door and there's this young boy named Timian surrounded by items.
Well, depending on the timeline at this point, he might be
Well,
well
man.
into his 20s or 30s. Yeah.
Well,
Especially
older than
since we
that.
kept him on that accelerated time.
Yeah.
How old was he anyway when we started Way of the Wicked?
I think he was a child. When we found him,
I thought he was like a teenager or something.
teenage squire.
He wasn't a child, but he was basically fresh of coming into age.
I was gonna say if he was a child, that might make Nesarima a lot more evil.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's gross.
I think he was probably 20-ish, if I had to guess.
He was a fun part that was good.
Mm-hmm. They probably didn't have much written for him in Way of the Wicked, did they?
Not really too much. They had a lot for Grumblejack, but not for Timian.
Well, yeah, everyone loves Grumblejack.
Right.
I like to imagine he's still living up in his hovel with his wife that he's constantly warring with.
Right.
Oh, Grumblejack.
On that front, I'm kind of curious what happened to the dragon.
He's
Which
bound
one?
for another 100 years or something.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Jerbear.
Yep.
Oh,
Did
we
we
lost
make him
Michael.
king of the Carebriar or something?
Oh,
Dude,
yeah. Made him a duke. I just got back. I assume we're talking about what happened to everyone in Talongard after the campaign.
Yeah.
Especially since Michael just dropped call.
Oh.
There he is. He's back.
No, what you really need to worry about is that vampire angel Manfred created and then just set loose on the world.
Right.
That's not going to come back to bite anybody.
Yep. But hey, random encounter for any of our future APs.
Good one for Wrath of the Righteous.
That thing was so stupidly strong. It was almost as powerful as Manfred. It had like 50 AC.
So yeah, I think we're all back. Michael, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm here. I just have to take a call really quick.
No worries. I just wanted to make sure you were all the way back before we continued on.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, for Emanuele, Juan will not be able to fit through this tunnel.
All right.
It is too narrow.
Have him guard again.
Yeah, this is why I warned Haldor to be a mounted barbarian.
Yeah.
And there's still going to be times you can use them, but there's going to be some tight corners.
Oh yeah. I don't mind at all.
Future APs that are very mount friendly.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, outside of the whole you're on a ship most of the time, Skull and Shackle, a vast majority of it's outside. So if you can get around the whole water thing, it's actually surprisingly mount friendly.
Ride a dolphin.
Mm-hmm. Like the most majestic pirate you've ever seen.
Or a bird of some sort.
Nah,
All
don't.
right. Character concept is coming on.
It's just like a merchant ship looking through the spyglass. It's like, what did you see? And then you just see a pirate ship, and then it pans out, and you just see like a pirate leap out of the water riding a dolphin as the hair's streaming behind them. This is a
Singing.
single tear from the merchant, and they're like, it's beautiful.
I mean, put that on a shirt. It'll compete with the 3 wolves and a moon.
I saw one meme on one of my discords today. Is there are 2 wolves inside of you? Sorry about the transporter accident. There's pictures of Miles O'Brien.
All right. So we got a door here and a door jar here that looks like it's going down into a larger spooky room.
More or less, yeah.
That's what Lucilla is saying out loud. Lucilla's saying around.
Well, let's start with the lesser spooky one.
Okay. Stairs it
The
is.
unknown spooky.
It's really cramped in here.
Nothing's more spooky than the unknown, so Fixa has it.
Well, either way, it's unknown.
I'm inspecting the stairs.
Mm.
See if there's any.
Ruh-roh. Token.
Yep. So as you get to there, Lucilla,
Mhm.
You can't see too deep into this
Probably just
room.
like seeing motion in the dim light, I'd imagine.
You see some what looks like wood lids on the ground.
Mhm.
But towards the end of your vision, you see. At first, you don't know what it is, but it kind of stands up, and you see the form of what looks like a goblin, but it's big. Like
Medium creature big?
yes.
Might be a hob.
It does see you because of the light. When it sees you, it's like just like looking at you maliciously. You see him you see him flip an axe in a hand as he draws a longsword with the other, and then he licks a blade with on a dagger with another hand.
Well.
Shall I take a pot shot?
Haldor, I think there's a friend down there.
So yeah, we'll be go ahead and getting into some initiatives
Wow, I'm rolling some terrible initiatives.
because no one gets a surprise round for this one.
Yeah. I just love the description of Lucilla at the top of the stairs staring at this goblin doing all that for like full 30 seconds in dead silence before stepping in.
Then she steps aside. Haldor.
He had Melgak. You see a Melgak down there?
I'm a who?
Yeah, there's a
Goblin.
manic-looking goblin down there, by the way.
Okay. First up on the turn order is Ephixa.
All right. Let's go ahead and advance and see what looks like down there. So 30 for standard action.
I'm 50% sure there's no traps on those stairs as you go down.
We'll find out. Then I'll use my standard action to continue moving. 2, 3. Oh. Back into this corner and hold my ground.
Okay. Lucilla.
Remembering that I have the light, so Haldor needs me to be down there. I will double move. I still have 5 feet of movement after this. Okay. I will step to the side here.
Okay. This guy's turn. He uses all 3 of his hands as he leans down to pop open 3 of these hatches.
He has 3 hands?
He does. Didn't you hear me description of he flips a axe, he pulls a longsword, and then he licks the dagger on his 3rd hand?
Oh, wow. I thought
Didn't
it was
catch the dagger, but
I didn't
didn't
catch the
either.
dagger. I thought it was licking the sword.
Well, good timing then. Because now that you're
Almost.
closer, you can see him. He has a 2nd hand underneath his left hand.
Holy shit. Michael, Gene Stealers.
as long as they don't start coming through
Again?
the walls.
And then starting. Oh, didn't mean to ignore
Big
that
eye.
number.
Someone calling me. I'll be back.
Oh shit, that's bingo.
Yeah, ignore that number. I hit the wrong.
Yeah, no problem. I've done the same thing.
As 3 zombies begin to crawl out of these holes. And I just
That raises Ephixa ire.
I imagine so.
You're okay with the mutant goblin, but this just crosses the line.
Listen, who are we to judge his family breeding practices?
Touche.
Reach.
Mm-hmm. You can move through my square, even on stairs, I'd imagine.
You can't charge through it.
Yeah, but he's too far away. Well, no. But think stairs count as difficult terrain for charging.
Yeah, charging with the stairs is going to be a little bit of an issue.
That would be funny to watch.
I activate my fly speed.
I engage tank mode.
So as I come down the stairs, seeing the big guy, I will re-enfeeblement him. Yeah, that should hit.
Oh shit!
And I used a point to up its DC to 15.
So, fortitude save.
Cool. But he makes it.
So he
Still,
only takes
that's
3
all
points of strength damage.
Yep.
+8 for
+8 to that 4. He's beef.
Well, he takes half.
Yeah. For 2 rounds. So that'll let Haldor get into position.
Yeah. Speaking of, Haldor.
Charges through the crates.
They're lids, technically, so I think they're on the floor.
Yeah, they're on the floor. Yeah, that's why I said these zombies crawled out of these holes in the ground.
Except that Ris'sh is in the way.
Yeah, but he can charge the whole way anyway.
Michael, if you're saying something, you're muted.
Yeah, Rich is in the way, so I can't charge.
Yeah, again, it would have been difficult anyway with the stairs.
Yeah.
So you would have to double move to get all the way in, but
Yeah. Let's. Let me see. What is going to be the movement here?
I swear if I get mobbed again.
That's where I'll go.
Go.
okay. Zombie time. They are going to charge as a standard action because they are considered staggered. One on Ephixa, one on Haldor, one on Lucilla.
At least I'm not flat-footed.
Yep. Let's see. I think I have a character sheet set up, so I can just roll from there. Yep. That one will miss. Sorry, Ephixa, Haldor, miss Lucilla.
Damn it!
Jesus.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, I'm at 0. I'm not instant dead, thankfully.
You're at lower than 0.
Yeah, I'm at lower than 0. I'm at -3. But come on, you rolled a 9 and a 7 on the tanks. And you got oh my god.
Well,
That ooze morph is coming someday, man. -5.
That's the game you play when you play Pathfinder.
He got a 22 on the
Doesn't
crit
this one
service.
provoke from Haldor though first?
It does.
Clothesline.
That
Oh,
that
yeah,
might
technically there.
that might actually save Lucilla.
Yeah, he might chop its head off as it.
I'm not blaming
Granted,
you, Richard. I just think it's irony. Is all it is.
Right.
You're at
Granted,
11, by the way.
I have not started raging. However, when it charges past me,
I believe raging's a free action.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? You do get that one ability you have that if you're solo fighting somebody, because it wouldn't be threatening by anybody else.
yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna full defense. That sounds smart.
All right, so give me +1 to damage.
To be fair, they're not that strong, but I just rolled really well.
No, that was a ridiculously good roll.
Oh,
I mean, hey, you do have hero points if you want to use them.
that's true.
You all have 2. I think Lucilla used her extra one, so
Yep.
we're all still at 2. No, I gave you an extra one from the other day, so you should have more than that.
It's 12 hit.
It will miss. Wait, no. There's zombies. I was looking at the sin spawn stat block. No, that does hit.
Plus, it
I was gonna
charging.
say zombies don't usually have the high of AC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they have 12 AC, but I just need to double check their. Nope, they are DR slashing, so that does go through. So that does save Lucilla.
Ah,
I'll just move off the token.
freaking 9 and a 7, and then I could have survived on the natural 20 if it didn't confirm, because I could have taken 7.
It's like a gruesome scene where Lucilla's frozen as the zombie charges, and at the last possible second before it gets its grasp on her, it just
Lucilla.
I think Emanuele yells from the back, "Hit that one!"
Literally sees death coming for her.
I would have been fine eventually.
So now's a good time to kind of give you the description of this room, since most of you are in it. The ceiling of this strangely cold chamber arches to a vaulted height of 20 feet. The floor contains 11 wooden lids strewn haphazardly over 5-foot wide pits in the ground. From the darkness within these pits echo strange shuffling moans and every so often strange shuffling sounds and every so often a low moan. So
What could it be?
yeah.
Possibly a zombie?
Yeah. Emanuele, whatever you'd like to finish off with. I saw you move
All right.
already.
Move up to there and then take a single shot at that one by himself.
Seeing
Okay.
those rolls, and I just felt the natural 20 coming. I swear to God.
That will miss. Wait, no, that will hit. Sorry.
I'd hope so.
I was gonna say,
But just barely. Let's see. Ephixa.
All right. 2-weapon fighting against the one directly in front of her. So scimitar, of course. Then shield.
Don't feel bad. 2-weapon fighting is a little rough to get off the ground.
Yeah, for sure.
Once you start really getting into it, though, it starts getting really good. That one will hit and do a little bit of damage to it. Lucilla.
Should I go aggro or go defensive? You know what? That guy's turn is coming up. I am going to 5-foot step here. And then I am going to try to knowledge roll what that thingamabobber would be. Not the zombies. I kind of figure I know what a zombie is.
Yeah.
But the mutant goblin thing, would that be local? That's what human.
You know what? For this, I'm going to require 2 rolls.
Okay.
So one would be a local,
Mm-hmm.
and then one will be religion.
Okay. A local 22. And then religion 20.
Okay, so it is indeed a goblin.
Mm-hmm.
But something has caused it to become deformed and irregular. Like, so it's grown in size, it's grown extra appendages. It looks quite insane to the point where it's barely coherent.
Is it a goblin alchemist?
Is it a goblin sin spawn?
It looks like it's been corrupted by some kind of like with that. You got a 20 on religion.
Mm-hmm.
There are some things in the world that, when consumed, if they are connected to certain divine beings, can alter a person.
Gotcha. All right. I, as a standard action, begin my naturalist performance to start handing out combat tips to everyone within 30 feet, which should be everyone.
Okay.
So that's +1 to AC, +1 to attack rolls, and +1 to most saves. I say most because it's only if he actually casts a spell. Spell-like abilities, you do get the bonus on, but not actual spells.
Gotcha.
That's my turn.
Its turn. It's gonna move up to here. It's gonna grin wildly, and everyone in this line is gonna need to make a save. As all of a sudden, as it steps over, it's like, and just spits this noxious, foul-smelling, acidic blood from its mouth.
Oh,
It's like reflex saves from all of you.
This would have the
Damn zombie.
+1 then. Come on. So that would be a 10. You know what? I'm gonna
Yeah.
re-roll mine because there we go. That'd be 13 then.
Okay.
Do not have a
So-
bad reflex save. That's just bad rolls.
I think I just need a reflex save from Haldor.
Does
Also,
the
roll-
zombie
Yeah, I'm gonna
need
roll
to-
for the zombie too.
Also, just so you know, Richard, I edited how the notes on my sheet work, so these pluses are not normally factored in now. So
Okay.
that should be clear.
So
If it's like my bonus to knowledge, that's all automatically just added in. Stop that.
So everyone who passed, which is everyone but Haldor, will take half of this of acid damage. So 1 acid damage to everyone except for Haldor, who takes 2. But for Haldor, I need you to roll me a fortitude save. Okay, that will just make it. So you're fine. But it is very foul smelling and kind of grotesque. Ris'sh.
Disgusting Melgak. So 5-foot step over there. Pull out the scroll. And the siggles on her arms and legs, and her eyes flash orange as she casts grease from the scroll. Which I'm going to say is targeting that 10 by 10 space.
Okay, so reflex saves from the zombie first. Zombie falls prone.
Nice. I love all those low-level spells. I forget about them.
And he falls prone as well.
Because at high level they're useless.
Yeah.
Well, we're all freaking flying in extra dimensional gods.
Man, this is one of 3 scrolls I specially made in that first or second session, so
I still
Haldor.
say the greatest example of high level Pathfinder is when we casually searched the entire multiverse for a creature that randomly got teleported.
Yes, randomly, completely on accident.
oh yeah,
No,
no
nobody's
one's fault at all.
Listen, I was trying to be nice.
Then was it Wish we used to get half of its ass back?
Oh, miracle. Yeah, then we just
Miracle.
ripped half of its skin off from a different plane of existence and brought it to us.
It was just such a perfect encapsulation of the high end stuff when it's like, fine, let's just casually scour the multiverse.
Yeah, we're just going to yada yada through searching the different planes.
Michael, you there? It's your turn.
Yeah, the zombie, it will be subject to axe to grind, giving me that +1 to damage. And I'm going to power attack with the great sword for 12 slashing.
Lucilla, you gave him a +1 to hit, right?
Plus the
Yep.
+4 because the zombie's prone.
Yeah,
And
+4. So
Right,
that that'll altogether easily decapitate this zombie. So 1 zombie against Ephixa. Will miss. And then to Emanuele.
Ready? He's got a clear shot. And he's within 30. So he's going to say to Haldor, careful of the grease there. And give him +2 to attack this guy. And then fire off point blank shot. And that's actually a 12. But he's prone, which is like a -4 to arrows.
Yeah, it's a
right?
-4.
Yeah.
So that will miss.
Okay. But you still get a +2 to attack Haldor.
Okay. Ephixa.
Yeah, just 2-weapon fighting against the zombie directly in front of her.
That will hit for 4. And that'll hit for 2. Still up, but definitely the zombie equivalent of bloodied, I guess.
He's on re-death's door.
Lucilla.
Let's see. I am going to. I think I'm just kind of helping with my bardic right now. So instead, I'm going to 5 foot here and full defense and increase my AC by 6.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's too bad we don't have the reverse dagger, which has the power to stab the dead back to life, and the other way around.
I love that. That's because it's a genuinely fun sounding magic item.
So this guy's gonna get up from prone and is going to attempt to move. So he has to make an acrobatics check to move, right?
Yeah, it's only DC 10 now.
Let's see. It's a D20 plus 4. So it's just pretty much just makes it as it just steps up to Haldor. And Ris'sh, it's your turn.
Yep. Just consulting my spell book. I think I'll just throw a ray of frost at it.
Not hit,
Imagine
unfortunately.
it's better than 8 touch, yeah.
9, technically.
Still won't hit it.
Yeah.
Moving anywhere? Or are you gonna stay put?
I'll stay put for the moment.
Okay, Haldor.
All right. Well, we're gonna rage.
As you do.
Let's put him down. So I got +2 from raging, +2 from Emanuele, right?
Yep, and +1 from Lucilla.
Yes.
+1 from Lucilla. I've got all of those are just to attack, right? Not damage?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, going to power attack at 4.
Currently at 22 AC right now. Maximum turtle has engaged.
Are you turtle enough for the turtle club? Yeah, it just hits him. 17 damage. Felt that. Human Zambi. Gonna slam and miss you. Which is good because I keep rolling max damages, but just really low attacks.
Come on and slam.
And welcome to the jam. Emanuele.
All right. He's gonna try and shoot that goblin in front of Haldor and call out, use Benetti's defense. And if he hits, you will have +2.
I want to know
To
who
attack.
Benetti is.
Makes
+2 to attack and +2 to AC.
He's a good friend of Dewey.
But that's a -4 since he's shooting into melee.
Yeah, that'll still hit. So you do a solid blow to him. And that gives Haldor +2 his AC as well?
Yeah, +2 to AC, only against that goblin.
Gotcha. Ephixa.
All right. Continue with the 2-weapon shield bashing.
Oof, that'll finish that one off.
Bash as hard as you can.
Now, would I be able to take a 5-foot step and then offhanded shield bash?
All out.
All right.
That one wouldn't miss, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Lucilla.
Okay. I am going to 5 foot here.
Did you add the +1 from
It'll still miss.
Fix?
Yeah, because it's hitting on a 17, so 12 will make a difference. Let's see. Okay, I'll spend one last round of my bardic to use for this. I will attempt to trip it with my whip.
Go for it. Excuse me.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, well, this is the last round of bardic, everyone, so enjoy it. I'm trying
Now
to
that it's
conserve.
finally close enough, it's going to full attack Haldor.
3 attacks.
One of them is a crit.
At least that was
Whatever.
The 19 will hit for 4. Let me see. I'm just going to roll full attack again and take the middles again. So it won't confirm. So total of 6 damage.
All right.
Because even with the +2 AC, you also suffered a -2 AC from raging.
Yeah,
Plus
which
3
should
AC
bring me back up. So that'd be 18 AC, right?
17, I think. Or no, because of Lucilla, 18.
Yep.
That still will have the 2 hits, so that'll be 6 damage to you. And I probably should give you a link of what this thing looks like fully.
I kind of see it in my head. Yep, that's kind of where I was going.
Yeah.
That's
I've
a nice looking sword, though.
I've actually seen this image before, but I didn't know it was from Runelords.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yes.
Karubas?
I mean, you wouldn't know, but yeah.
He just had like a department store name tag.
Hi, my name is Karubas.
So
Ris'sh.
I remember one of us liking the rule that grease could be lit on fire.
I allow that.
All of us do.
Oh, yeah. And
It
you
just
got
seems
better-
logical. It's called grease.
So,
It's one of the like few spells that combos.
so a spark of insight, and then her eyes flash red as she lights the grease on fire.
So I'll look to you guys. What do you think would be an appropriate damage for catching the grease on fire?
I mean, if it ends the spell immediately, I would say like, I don't know, 2d6.
I'm going to keep it in line with Burning Hands.
Yeah.
And since you used it from a scroll, I'll just lay 2d4.
Okay.
For 4 damage.
Yeah, better than a ray of frost, at least. You know,
Yeah, we'll
assuming he's
take
not
away the
resistant
grease.
to fire.
He is not. Though, as you've been watching, every turn that's passed, his wounds have slowly been stitching back together.
Ooh. Well, the fire will help.
That's healing. I mean,
Haldor.
Another devastating blow, obviously. What bonuses do I still have?
+2 from Emanuele, +1 from Lucilla.
Yeah,
Yep.
so same as before, I think.
Okay. Yep. Then just power attacking again.
That will hit, and that will bring it down.
Yay.
I like how everything in this module goes down with 2 hits from Haldor. It's like chopping
Well, I mean,
down a
at
tree,
this
okay?
level,
One-
barbarians are hard to beat. Okay.
It's what barbarians do.
I remember the very first Pathfinder character I played was a barbarian. At level 3 or 4, I wrestled a Yeti. I wrestled a Sasquatch to death.
Yeah, he's swinging 2d6 plus strength and a half,
Mhm.
plus rage.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
It
honest.
starts balancing out like towards the mid levels.
Yeah, because they don't have any magic, right? They just have rage powers, which are few and far between. And some of the benefits aren't necessarily like combat savvy, like my superstitious. That's good because it gives me a bonus against magic users, but on the other hand, there are other things, right?
Yeah, it doesn't make you hit harder. But it makes you more well-rounded.
Yeah, and it's good for the build because I wanted this to be a mage hunting build.
So good news is it's not regeneration. So as you kill it, it doesn't seem to be stitching itself back together.
Whew.
Yeah, for my knowledge roll, was that enough to know if it was undead or just like a twisted monstrous humanoid?
It was a twisted humanoid.
Gotcha.
But yeah, laying at your feet is this goblin that was, for all intents and purposes, mostly nude, other than a little bit of fabric. It has a longsword, a dagger, and a hand axe on it.
Detect
But-
magic on that fancy longsword.
Yeah,
It is magic.
I do that.
Looking down in the cages. Hungry dead, yes? Should we deal with?
In a moment. So it is magic, so I can
Spellcraft it.
spellcraft. I get a bonus to this.
And if you want to look at if you want to know about the other ones, you can someone who can roll me an appraise.
I mean, we're not going anywhere. You know what? I'll just try rolling it just for fun. Hey, got a natural 20 plus 1, so it's 27.
Yep. So it's a +1 longsword.
Awesome.
It is for a medium creature.
Okay.
Everything for this is medium creatures because that's how big he was.
Mhm.
It is a silver dagger,
So it's a two-hander for you.
and then it is a masterwork hand axe.
Well, this sword isn't going to be too much good for me. Anyone make use of this? Hold up the longsword.
It's a fine looking weapon.
I think I'll stick with my scimitar. I feel a bit more of a connection with this than some abomination's crude weapon.
Certainly better than I'd expect from one of these creatures, but I still prefer larger blades.
Just FYI for you guys, since I know I mentioned it before. Anytime you find magical stuff that you don't plan on using, you can pay the equivalent of half of what it costs eventually to get the enchant, or not half, 25% of what it is to move it into another equivalent weapon. So like a one-handed martial can be basically moved into another one-handed martial, and same thing for everything.
Ooh, that'll be handy.
Yeah, just FYI, so that way if you guys find loot that you may or may not want to use, rather than just selling it and then having to buy something at full price.
Yep. I like that. I liked how Kenneth did it with the
Materia slots, basically.
Yeah.
yeah, there was like a slot that you could have removed, and you could
That's
say
just
that
a little
you
too
remove it,
complicated for
and
me.
it costs
Yeah.
like 25% of cost to move it.
Yeah, the complication was trying to keep it in parity with the base game's +1 system.
Yeah. So yeah, mostly it's just like you pay 25% of what the normal buying a weapon would be.
Mm.
So for like a +1 weapon, I think it's what, like 2,000.
Yeah, I believe
yes.
so.
That sounds
So
right.
you would spend 500, and you'd be able to move it into whatever weapon you choose, as long as it's equivalent.
Mhm.
So you'd have to like have a masterwork weapon and then move the enchantment into it.
Well, I am proficient in longswords as a bard, but the issue is that A, I've got 8 strength, and B, it's for a medium creature.
Yeah.
And I'm the only small. So, Manuel, let's look around the right size of you. Maybe use it as a backup.
That's a good looking weapon. I wouldn't mind wearing it. Yeah, I'll keep it fresh for a fix.
Yeah.
And then you have those other two if you wish to take them or not.
The silver dagger, technically raw, I would need to get a small dagger, but can we just like hand wave that down to my size?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it is a goblin, isn't it?
It is
It's
a medium-sized goblin.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
it's a medium dagger.
I gotcha.
In general, for a sized-up creature, it would move from a light weapon to a one-hander.
Yeah, so you can just, we'll say you can treat it as a short sword.
Okay.
But it does the damage of a small dagger. How that for until you can get it to town to someone to work on it for you.
I mean that's fine. I mean, because I'll double check.
Any of this stuff, like especially the non-magical stuff, a blacksmith could easily take care of most of it for
Yeah.
you.
I think this is one of the largest things that I think you can't take away from 5th edition. Is how they changed how weapons work for small creatures. Rather than doing less damage, you just can't use heavy two-handed weapons.
Yeah. And
I like that.
The only thing I don't like about weapons in 5e is how little there are.
Mhm.
Yeah, but that's just a filling out the selection issue, not a how they actually work issue.
No, the way they work is fine. I'm completely fine with how 5e handles their weapons.
Mhm.
I just wish there was some more variety.
And it's also easy to reskin. At that
It is for
point.
some things, but there's some things that reskinning just doesn't quite have the same oomph to it.
I also do feel like a lot of 5th edition, it's like, talk to your game master. If there's something in particular you want in like a 5th edition game, it's really easy to make a balanced weapon homebrew.
Would
Yeah.
point out
like-
the only difference between a medium dagger and a small short sword is damage type, and that the dagger has the option of slashing.
Yeah.
So
So either way, we're not gonna worry too much about that. You can just treat it as a short sword for a small creature.
So
Okay.
what?
Because
So what's
a small dagger does 1d3, but a short sword for a small creature does 1d4 is all I have.
Yeah, and a dagger does 1d4 for a medium creature, so
Okay,
just treat it
so
as a short sword.
I'll just change the short sword I have to say silver then.
One thing though you should know about silver weapons, they do 1 less damage.
Oh, well, poop on that then.
Sorry, I figured I should mention that because I know you're using strength for it. Yeah. So just FYI for that. It's
Well-
good for if you're fighting things that are weak to silver.
I'll save it then. Maybe I can get it melted down and turned into a silver weapon bomb or something like that.
A silver whip head.
that just leaves his axe unclaimed.
Yeah, it's a
Master
master.
can't axe. You can just
We'll
throw it in
take
the
it.
party loot if no one else wants it.
Yeah, we'll throw into party loot. Worst case scenario, I probably just used it to throw out anything if I couldn't quite get to it. Seemed like a bit of a waste.
And masterwork weapons aren't cheap. 300.
Yep.
So
At the very least, it's good for selling swag.
So Fix will be going through each of these chambers and just seeing if there's dead in there, and would try to be piling as many into one as she could before lighting up a pyre to make sure that, dead stayed dead.
So these 3 right here are open. They have the zombies crawl out of them, but if you peek into them, they all have zombies in them. Though they're so subdued with the bloodlust of this goblin being, quashed, it would be very easy just to be able to quickly kill them without having to open the thing all the way. You can basically coup de grace all the zombies in there with no problems.
Fix
just
will,
patch, then put them in one, and hell, I'll give you a bottle of oil to.
yeah, Fix would be very intent on burning the cadavers.
It's very easy to do. It takes a little bit of time. I'll say altogether, you guys have been down here. With the time it takes to burn all the bodies, I'll say an hour and a half. I'll say altogether.
Still a half hour on my mage armor.
4.5 hours on my rod.
You should probably go to a doctor if that's the case.
If your sunrod lasts more than 4 hours, contact an apothecary.
Take a picture and send it to your friends.
Also, nice.
Next week in Galarian Twitter.
Do we want to backtrack and check the door back up there, or do we want to continue up ahead?
Oh, I was just keeping watching the doorway while you were killing the dead.
They sometimes dead need killing again, apparently.
Well,
Unfortunately.
we have a door ended this way and a branching tunnel.
Would the Galorian version of Twitter be called Kenku?
Why not?
I would say let's check the door up here, just to... We're here anyways.
Loki, record that joke for your eventual Starfinder game.
Right.
Because they do have their equivalent of the internet, so I would very much like to have Kinku posts.
I'd like to check Kenkugram.
When I can be asked to do it, half his post-battle conversations going in a highlight reel.
That'd be a beholdogram. Mascot's a big eye. Because it's a beholder.
Okay, so,
Emanuele, keep up.
Ephixa, are you just opening the door?
Where did
No,
I
I'm just
go?
gonna stand next to it and say, turn to Lucilla and say, "Did you want to check it for traps or anything, or should I just go right in?"
Feeling of exploration. Give it a shot.
All right. And then she'll push the door open.
I take one step back.
Okay, opening up this room, the crumbling remnants of several chairs and long tables clutter the floor of this room. To the south stand 3 stone doors, each bearing a strange symbol that resembles a 7-pointed star.
Any sort of knowledge check to know what the star represents?
History.
I know.
So I'll be like, I know this one. I checked it earlier. Yeah, it is the Sahedron star, which is a common symbol that is seen in many Thessalonian relics, artifacts, and the like.
The different points represent different schools of the uncanny.
Well, this room was a torture chamber.
Anyone who enters this room, go ahead and roll me a perception.
Oh, I am all down for puzzle shit, so I'm gonna be trying to force my way in there.
Yeah.
25.
Okay, so you search through this room as you're kind of you move some rubble across and everything else. You find certain fragments of like countless books and scrolls, all with some spiky looking writing in a strange language. The only one of you who knows this, I believe, is Lucilla. This is ancient Thassalon writing.
Bitchin'. I say that out loud.
There are many. A lot of it looks like transcribed notes of like when they're going to be receiving new prisoners. Then there are some things about arcane. Though it doesn't seem to follow anything you would be familiar with. You see some stuff about followers of Lamash too. But largely, a lot of it is useless and broken and damaged. You do, however, as you're looking through, see a intact, like a fully intact scroll underneath a broken chair.
I do go for that.
It is a scroll.
Is it trapped in any way? I just need to check.
Roll perception.
Because Spidey sense tingled there for a second.
Well, I don't have read magic equipped.
25. It's fine. I can. I've got bonus to this shit.
Yeah. It is not trapped. It is in fact just a simple scroll that looked like it was kind of lost underneath the clutter of everything else.
I go for it.
Yep. You pull it out. It's had what once was an old wax seal on it, but has since decayed through. The scroll itself is still in relatively well kept conditions. It even unrolls easily. If you want to determine what it is, if you don't have read magic, you can.
I do have read magic.
You do. It is a scroll of.
So
it is a scroll of flaming sphere.
Scroll of exploding rune. Fuck.
It's
It is
just
a scroll. It's a scroll of gotcha, bitch.
Let me see. Let me see if that's actually a bard spell real quick.
I know. I want to make a copy.
It is not. Hey, Ris'sh.
Yes.
I got something for you.
What jewel main find?
Anyway, I roll it back up. This appears to be a scroll of flaming sphere. I know a little bit of arcane magic, but it's not really my wheelhouse. I think you might get more mileage out of it.
Yes. Yes, could be.
So I hand that over. Now, let's see what can't be done about these doors. So you said each had the symbol of the star on them, but are they
Yes.
slightly different or are they the exact same?
They're all the same.
All the same. Do these doors look any different other than that from the other ones? Like, do they have a locking mechanism or something like
They do all have locks on them.
that? Mm-hmm.
They all just look like mostly just stone doors with the symbol and it's almost like a latch lock, if that makes sense. Like once the lock would be unlocked, you would open the latch and then it would be able to be pulled open. The one to the left here is already broken open. Like it looks like it lost the test of time, but the other two seem still put together.
I'm gonna swing open the one that's already been broken.
Okay. Suddenly, no, I'm just kidding.
Honestly, I would have been fine with that. I kind of expected at this point.
I didn't ask how big the room was.
So there's a skeleton of what looks like a badly deformed humanoid. This one has an enormous misshapen skull. It looks like it was almost like tumorous in a way.
I'm starting to get the impression we are dealing with some magical experimentation. Now, you said human skeleton or humanoid?
Humanoid.
Okay.
It's hard to tell with the way it's misshapen.
Okay. I can't do like a knowledge nature to try to ballpark it.
You can give me a knowledge nature if you like.
26.
It looks like it was human at one point.
Gotcha.
I've seen that goblin before. There's definitely something that was attributed to a change of some kind.
What do you think, Fix? Pop the rest of these doors open, see what goodies are inside.
Might
Probably
as well.
more terrible things.
Use
Alright.
VIP cells?
I'm gonna take a look at this lock here.
Perception.
Perception. 20.
It looks like it's a pretty mundane lock, all things considered. With the test of time and the chance of breaking it when you're trying to attempt it, it looks like it might be a little difficult, but you're unsure until you try.
Well, it could take a 10, but I don't have that kind of time. So that's 28.
I'll go ahead and roll that over for both of them.
Just
because they're both almost identical. So once you figure out one, it's easy to figure out the other.
I just click. Done.
So looking into both the other chambers, these are definitely like some kind of like prison cells as well, but they seem to be more like, from what you see inside of them, are definitely some kind of experimentation or torture. One of these ones also has another humanoid skeleton with 3 arms, and the third one has a rib cage that goes all the way down to its pelvis.
Ooh.
And the pelvis is with stunted leg bones strewn below in its strangely flat girth. It looks like it was like, I don't know how to really else describe it. It's like very stunted. Like, have you seen the legs on Roger from American Dad?
Yeah.
Like those kind of legs into a flat, wide pelvis and a rib cage that goes from top of the chest all the way down to the pelvis.
So these Thessalonians, how was this type of study?
I mean, it was 10,000 years ago. Kind of here to figure that out. I'm out of character. I'm just kind of assuming that based upon the history.
That's most of your knowledge that you have is there was definitely some dark shit people have found in ruins of Thassalon, but it's unsure. Like some of it, if it was the norm or not. There, each rune lord had a different, from what they've got to have a different penchant for what they do, and they're unsure which ones were responsible for what.
Yeah, I basically say that and go, I mean, wouldn't really be interesting to be exploring these ruins if it was all already known.
Fix would just be frowning as she's looking at the clearly, disfigured remains.
Seriously bothers you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Don't go to Ustav.
Why is that? Dare I ask?
I've heard lots of stories. Lucilla leaves it at that, but out of character, Uslav's is the kingdom that's essentially all horror movies in one. Like every single horror setting possible exists in one nation. It's got vampires, it's got werewolves, it's got witches, it's got Cthulhu, it's got zombie apocalypse, it's got mad scientists. It's terrible.
Sounds fun, out of characterly.
Oh yeah,
Fix-
no, it's awesome.
Fix would just continue to frown and shake her head and depart.
Well, I say we should go back down there and explore that longer hallway.
Yeah. How's everybody feeling? I don't have too much. At least I don't know how much more divine healing I could impart.
Feel fine.
I say we keep going.
Haldor's looking a little rough.
I'm gonna creep around to this corner here to peek around.
Looking at it, it looks like it slopes a little bit towards the end of what you can see going up. I'll save you the effort. If you go down to here, you can see fully. These are a twisting flight of spiral stairs that looks like they lead down.
Yeah, they look like they're going down.
Yeah.
The darkness is at the bottom. Well, just takes a peek down there. Looks like this goes deeper.
I'll also check this door first, then.
Yep.
Fix will just go open it.
You're gonna open it?
Yep.
Okay, there's some weirdness going on here, so give me a second to describe.
So many flesh golems.
Fix it promptly closes the door.
This
All
strange
wallowing
room.
in orange pudding.
This strange room is a 15-foot diameter sphere. Several objects float in the room, spinning lazily in space. A ragged book, a scroll, a bottle of wine, a dead raven surrounded by a halo of floating and writhing maggots, and a twisted iron wand with a forked tip. Yet perhaps the most unnerving aspect of this room is the walls, for they are plated in sheets of strange red metal that ripple every once in a while with silent black electricity that seems to coalesce into strange runes, or even words far too often for the effect to be chance.
Lucilla doesn't see any of this. She just comes back from the stars. So Fix, anything interesting in there?
Fix is going to cast Detect Evil and just not sweep the room.
Let's see. The book detects as evil.
Very unusual.
A lot of weirdness in here. Be cautious of that book. It is, it has a sickening aura about it.
Ooh, I want to read a passage out loud.
That sounds like a bad move.
Yeah, I know. Fix, come on. It's sardonicism.
Right. Sorry. This place is getting to me a bit, I suppose. Fix would pause for a moment, then just out of curiosity, go to take a step in the room and tries to see what happens.
As you step into the room, you immediately begin to levitate, as affected by the levitate spell, and you float in the air. You have some control over the movement you go, and it's small. The room is small enough that you can push yourself off of walls and stuff. But you just seem to levitate inside of here.
Okay, I'm liking this room. book aside, and she kicks off the wall and floats over here.
Maybe get scroll.
Vix will make a grab for it.
What's the ceiling of the room?
It is almost like a circular room.
Okay, I just didn't know if it was
Complete
one of those.
sphere.
It just keeps going.
It's like
up.
a 15-foot sphere. Like the bottom isn't even level.
Gotcha.
Like the room is actually a complete 15-foot sphere.
The ceiling is several feet up, and it's just a fan blade spinning. I've seen this movie.
Busy lifting drink, no. But yeah, there was a twisted iron wand with a fork tip, a bottle of wine, a dead raven with a bunch of maggots surrounding it, a book, a scroll, and that's it.
Vix would
Wait,
go to grab
wait,
everything but
Don't touch anything yet.
She
She
says
already
she
touched
already
wall.
has the scroll in hand. What?
Oh. Is everything exploding yet, Richard?
No, everything's not exploding yet.
Okay, well, fine. Then I'm jumping in. It's a floating room. Do you really think I'm gonna let this go by, even if it is about to compress our bones into powder?
Yeah,
Haldor,
this
I
is
don't
the
think this is a room
equivalent
for you.
of this is the equivalent of fantasy creatures being able to be weightless in space.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So Vix will, once has the scroll, would make her way over to the fork, avoiding the raven and the
Book.
book. Yeah.
Yep. You're able to grab the twisted iron wand. It has a fork tip. It's not actually a fork.
Okay. Well, she sees it as a fork.
Yeah.
Then, with those two in hand, you'll float over to Ris'sh and hand the two over.
Yes. I'm assuming they both detect its magic, but
They
I'd
do.
have to spellcraft to try and.
Everything in this room detects as magic except for the bottle of wine and the book. You would need a spellcraft to determine what they are.
I'm gonna spellcraft the book.
Actually, you'll need a knowledge religion if you want to examine the book.
That's fine.
Yeah. So scroll and other thing.
So the scroll is a scroll of burning hands with a caster level of 3. So when you cast it, it casts as level 3 burning hands. The wand itself is a wand of shocking grasp, and it has 28 charges.
Nice.
So it's just a taser?
More or less.
Because it's got a little fork at the end. You literally just got the.
So 20 what charges?
28.
All right.
And Lucilla, as you grab the book and look at it, it's magically preserved like the rest of the stuff that seems to be in this room. And it is ancient. It is a book dedicated to the worship of Lamashtu. Even with that low DC, the book itself is notorious, as it every now and then will pop up in cults. It is written. You don't speak Abyssal, do you?
I do.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
So this book is well read and reads much like a bestiary of the most horrific and cruel monsters, as well as numerous woodcut illustrations in the insides of the book itself. Illustrations on how to kill, as well as a bunch of religious texts of Lamashtu. It is a very ancient book, and to the right person or the right person who wishes to destroy it, could probably be worth something. Also, go ahead and roll me a perception as you're looking at the book.
Yeah, sure, no problem. I am trying to. I'm not like being reckless about it, but I am looking at it.
Yeah.
I joked about reading a passage out loud, but I'm definitely not doing that. 13.
So as you're reading it through, you get about to the middle section. As you open it up, a key falls out of the center of the book and starts floating into the space with you.
I detect magic the key real quick just to be sure
Not
before
magic.
I touch it.
Meanwhile,
Not magic.
Vix is just floating and backflips behind her.
I just imagine you do that and you just turn around. There's Lucilla with a book. She goes, "Man, this thing is gnarly."
I figured as much.
Also, I found this key. That seems important.
Vix would detect evil on the key.
It's not evil. It's just a key.
So the
Alright,
book
what-
itself is non-magical, but it did detect as evil.
Yes.
Oh, come on. Loose unmarked keys are never useful.
It is a book of worship of Lamashtu. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it detects as evil.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, this is certainly an interesting find. From what I understand, this text doesn't actually show up in most collections. It'd be pretty good in a well-stocked library.
Want me to burn it?
Listen,
Burning books?
I like you. Let's not start this.
We're done with the wrong space, yes?
Yeah, I stick the book in my bag.
Fix
Loki-
would just curiosity will get the best for her, and she would just kind of take a little bit closer look at the raven itself.
Roll me a survival. This thing has been dead a long time, like longer than it should have been still intact.
Mhm.
And the maggots are plentiful and just circling the thing in like a weird like halo of writhing disgustingness.
Is there anything magical about this, or is it just another thing that was magically preserved down here?
With the detect magic and stuff they've done already, it seems this room is even more preservative than the rest of these chambers.
Hmm.
So it seems like it was in here and just preserved.
Using her shield, she would kind of nudge it towards the door and try to get it out.
It's easy enough to do. You might have to deal with a couple maggots kind of, once you get it out, kind of crawling over your shields and towards your hands and stuff, but
Not the worst thing.
yeah, easy enough to do though.
What about the wine? Good vintage?
It is actually a vintage from Sandpoint.
Ooh. Does it have a year on it?
Wait.
It doesn't, but it looks relatively new.
Huh.
Just to point this out to you, Fix. Sandpoint wasn't here 10,000 years ago when this place was constructed. So this is a recent addition.
Yeah, I was coming to that conclusion too. Though, if there's any place to get drunk and have some fun, this seems like a pretty solid place for it.
Well,
Do we recognize the bottle make or like the way it was sealed or the cork or anything? Like, does
Roll
it
me a
seem?
knowledge local.
Maybe elf brother?
With a 6, you're not going to get anything from it.
nope.
Yeah.
That's fair. I don't feel like wines are one of Lucilia's specialities.
Same with Fix.
You've actually had this vintage before, Emanuele. You didn't have it in town, but you've had it before, as there is a pretty well-known brewery nearby that sells a variety of, well, primarily meads, ales, and rums, though they do have the occasional wine, known as the Two Nights Brewery.
Oh. He would relay that and say that he has visited there and seen this vintage being sold. Perhaps we could question them as to whom the last was to buy it.
I mean, I have some educated guesses.
Yeah, seems to be you cleared out this room pretty
Mhm.
soundly.
Fix spends a few more seconds just floating around in circles and flips and all that stuff before reluctantly making her way to the door.
Yeah, Emanuele the same. He lets down his stoic outside and lets the muse touch Aasimar part of him take control.
As the two Aasimar, where we only know one of them's Aasimar is jumping around, Lucilia's already landed and is standing next to Haldor, and kind of like leans over to him and says up to him, so like, is it weird that her first thought was to go to book burning?
Haldor ignores you.
Stoic silence.
Is that just me? No?
Not know enough about either god.
I think either Michael's away or muted.
Though if holy book in this place, possibly good idea, burn it.
No, I'm here.
I heard a noise from Michael, but that's about it.
Oh, hey guys.
Were you falling asleep?
No, I'm good. We're burning an entire library down, right?
No.
Nope.
On recommendation of Lucilla, right?
Yes, the library RP went very wrong.
We got a scroll for it, right? That was a brain hand scroll.
Like, the idea of destroying evil things does jive with the adventuring persona, but the idea of destroying a book before it's done literally anything does feel very wrong. Just because it holds ideas that you don't like, even if I don't agree with them.
Books are boring. Let's move on.
Back home, I didn't read a single book, and I turned out just fine.
That's
Lucilla gives the sigh of the lonely.
Books I appreciate. Evil books, not so much.
Oh man, you're like the person that grew up in a small Christian town, and I went to like a liberal arts college.
Fix looks down at her. Saren Ray regalia.
Hmm.
I mean,
Evil books, like books that are mimics?
Maybe. Not the jewel main yet.
Ephixa, as you round the corner, you quickly realize that this entire staircase is completely covered in rubble as you turn the corner. It looks like wherever this led to has long since been buried to time.
as she keeps going.
Like, you'd basically be able to get to here before you couldn't move anymore because it just is completely collapsed.
Doesn't look like we're going to get much further. Looks like we have a cave in here. She's going to do a bit of a closer look to see if it's like a thin layer, like a ongoing collapse.
Roll me a perception.
Nope.
You think it's about to collapse immediately. You need to get the fuck out of that hallway.
Yep, I'm not going that way. It's going to give way any second now.
What? Run!
That seems highly okay, well, she's gone.
Back to statue. We take hallway or staircase there.
Yeah. Back through the prison, back to the statue, I suppose.
Fun fact, when you were asking about those stairs, they were going which direction? Those are actually going up. I misread the map.
Okay. Well, that probably used to be the surface access then, back when this place was functional.
Leave it to Emanuele to be like, charge! Go see if my snake's alive.
Well, he's running away.
And
She
he's
said it was
dead.
going to collapse. Oh! Good boy, Juan.
Meanwhile, Haldor has been left in the dark
Oh no.
because he has no light.
Yep.
Oh,
And
do
I
you have
would
my
assume
dark
he's
vision
right behind
reading?
us.
All right.
So is Haldor just hanging back there, by the way, Michael?
No, I was saying, but I was muted. Can you take me over to the party?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry,
I'll do
totally
that.
forgot about you not actually being able to see because I have a light source.
Yeah.
I don't have dark vision either, but I brought a light.
Tunnel or stairs?
I would say stairs.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Stairs are man-made. Tunnels are natural.
Step
Nature
1,
is scary, so we take the stairs.
27. Do I see traps?
You do not.
Okay.
If Ephixa looks back, why are you looking at my feet?
No reason. Now, I appreciate the fearless attitude, but you know that there's usually traps in these kind of places.
There are? I thought that was just storytell.
Oh, do you not read books?
I do, but
Books again.
fictional, I guess.
Okay, do you not talk to people that do this kind of thing? Like, I know that I spent a lot of time at the Pathfinder Lodge, so I talked to some people, but really no one. No one here, just me.
I talk to lots of people. They don't talk very much to me, though.
Usually people that come across me are usually need healing because of the monsters that they fought.
Well,
Lucilla's starting to feel the weight of the world as she thought she was going to be on this grand adventure. Now, so she's like, wait, nobody else knows of adventure.
Wait, I have to adventure with buffoons?
I need to educate these people. Let's check this door.
So far, going up to it, it looks the same as a lot of the rest. Just a simple stone door. You can roll me a perception if you like.
Yep.
After you, gentlemen.
26.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be there's any kind of traps or any locks of any kind.
Frickin' slaying it with these perception rolls. All right. I'm gonna swing it open.
As you enter, there's water that ripples slowly and quietly in the circular stone pool, the rim of which is lined with skulls.
Okay, Fix. Now that is something you would destroy on sight.
Yeah, I would. She kind of peers around. Yep, I would tend to agree.
So let's see here. I quickly shoot a detect magic into the room.
Let's see. You do not detect any magic.
Detect evil.
What's the range on that?
60 feet.
You do.
So,
It is in the room, but it is higher than you are right now.
Vix would say to Lucilla, casually and whisper, I can't see from my angle, but is there anything on the ceiling?
Wait a minute. Richard, now, if I remember correctly, last session I rolled about what a quasit was, to learn it was like a demon imp, and I used my once a day natural 20 on that. So would I know if they can make themselves invisible?
You know they can make themselves invisible.
I think we might have found our demon. It is possible it is concealing itself with magic. I think that's the dark waters we were told about.
She would kind of peer over. Does the water look dark?
I think I mean like metaphorically like evil.
Oh.
The water itself doesn't. It just looks like crystal clear water.
You said where did you detect the evil presence? Up high, you said, near the ceiling?
Yes.
How high is the ceiling, Richard?
Well, fun fact is when you look up,
Mhm.
you see something that is not invisible. You see something that is actually coming right for you.
Bum,
Yeah,
bum,
I was just about to throw a vial of holy water up there.
So let me
Well,
find
it's
a picture
breaking
for this
down a
real
can
quick.
of whoop ass, so.
I would like to say I'm probably not flat-footed considering this entire discussion, at the very least.
I'll allow that. Well, it really depends because you're considered flat-footed until you act in initiative.
Yeah. I'm just picturing you two whispering, then you turn around and there's this freaky green head screaming at you.
Yeah, this is essentially another picture that what it looks like. It's a better, clearer picture of what this thing is. It's coming for Lucilla. So yeah, let's get into some initiatives.
That's a bat head.
I thought it was.
I guess it's purple now.
But yeah, it won't be a surprise round, but it will be flat-footed until you act in the initiative.
Gotcha.
No, that's the Medusa head from Castlevania.
I think we just need Haldor's initiative.
Of course it goes first. I'm gonna get beat up a lot, but that's kind of the character I built.
Let's see. So before it does anything else, it's going to look at all of you and let out a blood-curdling screech. I need everyone to roll a fortitude save.
Is this a fear-based thing?
It is not.
Okay, just checking. 12.
Well, good news is you pass. Bad news is Haldor fails. So yes, the DC is 12.
Hmm?
Let's see. Just need one.
Does he get a bonus from his barbarian?
He's not
He-
raging.
Yeah, let me look at the. Yeah, I rolled a 4. Can I use a hero point?
You can, yeah. Add the 4. Or...
Yeah.
Okay, so you all managed to pass, which is good because this would have paralyzed anyone who failed for 2d4 rounds.
Whew.
Let's see. So after that, it will then fly up to the height of 20 feet.
20 feet.
Did it get in Lucilla's face where she could? Well, I guess she couldn't take a type of.
Yeah, she hasn't
back to-
acted yet, so.
Yep. Yep.
Ephixa, you saw this thing fly down to Lucilla's face, screech at all of you, and then like jet back up into the air.
Fix will run to the room and ready an attack for if it comes into range. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. Haldor.
Okay. I guess I'll come over here and ready an attack.
Okay.
Seems
Emanuele.
like that's going to be this encounter in a nutshell. Is
Oh,
Ready
I've
and
got a
attack?
plan. I've got such a beautiful plan.
All right, Emanuele will walk over there and fire at it.
the hell was that?
What was that?
It sounds like he
Somebody
was
just-
frying some bacon.
Or using a sink.
Wasn't me.
I don't believe you, Cope.
That'll hit for 8 damage. Ris'sh.
Mm-hmm. Well, since everybody else is doing it, it's probably a good idea. So I'll move in and guess Ray of Frosted because that's the only offensive spell I have at the moment. 13 touch.
That'll hit it.
Yay, 2 whole cold damage.
Lucilla.
Okay, I've got something cool I want to try to do. At the end of our turn, I'll probably be back in the same place again. But what I want to do is I'm going to reverse Yabba Dabba Doo up Ris'sh's tail, jump off her head to be on Haldor's shoulders because he's 7 feet tall. And then I want to jump again and use my whip's 15-foot reach to try to trip it to the ground by using my own weight and momentum to pull it down.
I'll allow that, but first you're going to need to do some checks.
Some shit.
Acrobatics or climb? I feel like
It'll be acrobatics.
okay.
I'm
Get
so
a
used to
1d20
5e having different names for certain skills. I wanted to make sure it was still called acrobatics. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
no, I hear you. I hear you. Come on, Nelly. 19.
Yep. I'll allow it. I will say that the way you're doing this, you're going to end on the opposite side of the pool rather than where you start.
That's fair. That's very fair. Either way, it's all within my
Go
movement.
ahead and attempt a trip.
Oh man, I hope this works so much. 22.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And now everyone's prepared attacks go off.
Yep, it falls into the water, but not before getting attacked from Haldor and Fix.
It's a garbage disposal.
That'll hit for 7.
I just like jump off of Haldor's head because he's so stupid tall.
I like the climbing up Ris'sh's tail over the back of her.
Oh, plus two
to
for
Haldor.
flanking.
That one will miss.
Plus
With a +4 because it's technically prone.
No, that all of it. Yeah, that'll hit. So
And +2 for flanking.
Oh yeah, and for flanking.
yeah, with the +2 for flanking, even alone will
Mhm.
make it work. So yeah.
I calculated the +2 for flanking in that.
Either way, it'll hit. And now it's going to get up, which will provoke again, but I don't think anyone has combat reflexes.
Well, those are
Those
ready
are
to attacks, not reactions.
Actually,
Oh, yeah.
I do have combat reflexes.
And those are also ready to attack too, so either way, you both get to swing again.
Do it.
Kill.
Still can't confirm the crit, but you know.
Get
Hey, it's
dunked
still
on.
up though. It's going to try to bite at Lucilla.
Before he bites, I was just gonna say Lucilla lands and just says to herself, "Holy shit, that was awesome."
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that'll hit me.
I needed to roll me a fortitude save.
Yes. I imagine a natural 20 will pass.
Nope.
Fail.
Nope.
Worth
He
it
knew
as
you
it
tried.
bites my arm. Still there, Richard?
Yeah, sorry, I had a phone call.
Okay.
So, yeah, you successfully resist the poison.
Mhm.
And that's its turn. Ephixa. This thing is at eye level with you because no, you know what? Before it will actually. No, it can't because it had to get up from prone. Never mind.
Mhm.
So, yeah, continue.
Making the. Can I get a play of the game?
Indeed.
Loki,
What was that?
It's your turn.
Oh, sorry. Let's do 2-weapon fighting. +2 for flanking.
That one will miss. Wait, that with the +2 or no?
That is what the +2 already factored in.
That will miss then. That will not, and that'll hit it for 2. Not feeling good. It's just like getting like ping pong between Haldor and Fix.
Right.
Like smack, 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 shield smash.
We're just playing volleyball with each other, ping pong.
No one
Sir,
expects the Halfling stunt coordinator.
Sheila already did the drop or the jump ball effectively.
I'm gonna say it's Haldor's turn to spike it.
Yep. Power attack.
Go for it.
Oh,
Wow.
That will miss.
Sadly.
Okay.
Do you have flanking in there?
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter. It
flanking.
still would miss.
Flanking isn't there.
All right, Emanuele will 5-foot step back and take a shot.
Doesn't confirm, but you do just shoot it right out of the sky as it lies limp and dead.
And that's why you should carry a bow.
Man, okay, I'm peek behind the curtain. If you had failed that shriek, that could have gone really bad. Not
Yeah.
just from being paralyzed. It
Oh,
has
yeah.
a special ability it has to only use on helpless people.
Ooh, what's
So
that?
go ahead and roll
ability?
me a knowledge, if you would,
Yep.
of planes.
It
Eat
turns.
your face.
It turns just your
21.
brainstem to stone.
So this is known as, I can't really pronounce it right. It's Vargul or Varguli or something.
Mhm.
Anyway, after it shrieks, if you're paralyzed, it can kiss you, and over the course of the next anywhere from 3 to 24 hours,
Mhm.
you slowly become one of these.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
As you begin to take intelligence and charisma drain down to 3 of each, and then transform into it as your head breaks free from your body. So yeah, good thing none of you fucking got paralyzed.
Yeah.
That would have been
Mhm.
fantastic.
It is treatable with removed disease, but
Mhm.
I don't think any of you have that right now. So you'd have to rush to find a healer. But good
Yeah.
news is you crushed it.
Lucilla just rubs the part of her arm that was bit. She's like, "Good hustle, guys. Don't drink that water. I'm just gonna lay down for a sec."
That was a badass move there. I have to admit. Using her shields, Fix will try to kind of scoop it out and flick it out of the water.
Yeah, it's easy enough to do. Move it out of the water. The water that's kind of splashed, it's like a little lower down. A lot of it splashed over the sides. You see it just ever so slowly beginning to refill.
Peering into, is there anything at the bottom, or does she see a bottom?
No, it's just it is very like crystal clear water.
Who's gonna try it? 1, 2, 3, nose goes.
The pool detected as magic, right?
I don't
It
remember.
does not. It does detect vaguely of magic. Conjuration magic in particular.
Mm-hmm.
It's a simple enchantment that just refills it periodically with water.
So just like a create water or something.
Yeah, more or less.
No one's had any yet, right? I'm still down on the floor.
No, but probably would not be bad to drink. But after skull thing, probably bad idea anyway.
I got something to purify it if it came to it. A couple things, actually.
Not particularly thirsty right now, I must admit. I was just curious more so than anything.
Well, when Julemain ready, she's laying in front of door.
No one would have any orange slices, would they? No.
No, afraid not.
Okay. Step 2. Holds herself up. I'm going to inspect this door.
Perception.
26.
Second verse, same as the first. It's similar to all the other doors you come across.
It's the one you don't check that's trapped.
Yep.
It always is.
Okay. Well, quick though. Gonna say a few words. That's better. All right. Back up. Full of vim and vigor. All right. So,
Out of curiosity, by the way, do you guys see the light like reveal as I move the thing, or do I have to drop it for you to see it?
I wasn't.
you have to. Oh, for the door, you have to.
Yeah.
I only see it after you drop it.
Okay. I was just curious because it shows the light reveal as I move it,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't sure if it applied for you guys too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't apply until you drop, usually.
As soon as
Yeah, I remember when Loki first tried to do it, we had the flashlight effect
Yeah.
where you could just move your token around and see without actually placing it down anywhere.
I heave-ho this door open though.
Another door. Haha.
All right. Keep checking for them traps.
Why would a door lead to a door? That's very inefficient.
I thought you were a noble. You don't have a foyer?
I do, but our pool and fountain is much larger. This is...
Yeah, this one doesn't appear trapped at all either.
Okay. I'm gonna go up here then.
Swinging it open.
Assuming everyone else is piling behind me.
Yep.
I
Where's the
am
tanks?
the meat balloon.
Hey, look, another staircase.
And that
Yes,
one
this-
paragraph.
This
That
flight
one
of
goes
stairs
down.
winds up. here.
Okay. The arrows are very confusing.
That is
Oh.
confusing.
That's why I was confused at first too.
Mhm.
Looking at the other ones, yeah, it would appear that the arrowhead is down. So,
Yeah, it's just sometimes it takes a couple seconds to.
Yep.
But looking at the notes and stuff I have again, I'm like, oh wait, this is going up.
For some reason I always interpret the arrow as going up. The
Yeah.
direction one is going up. So,
Yeah.
as would I.
anywho, I guess we're going to floor 2.
Well, it won't actually change the map because as you ascend, you go up. Good amount of time. Actually, it's a relatively far way up. Almost as long as you came down, but eventually you get blocked by a solid sheet of rock. But you vaguely hear the sound of foot traffic and people talking, but in a very muffled fashion. You think that this might go up into Sandpoint if you were able to clear the solid rock.
How have more people not noticed all this down here?
That's a very good question.
Like, I've been here for like a week, so I know how I haven't seen it. But
Well, then again, the entrance to this place initially was in the basement, so it is
And you did
Also
see
in
that
the-
there used to be bricks blocking this entrance, so
Yeah.
it means someone probably did come across this at one point, but you don't know why they blocked it off. Or
Can I use a knowledge local to get an idea, or dungeoneering to get an idea of where in Sandpoint this might be?
yeah, go ahead and give me a local. Actually, you can go either one, whichever one you want to make.
Let's go local.
You can give me a Dungeoneering too, since you're trying to kind of piece it together. Nope. You don't really know exactly where it's going to end up.
Too much darkness.
well, I think that leaves only one last hallway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very impressed you guys actually managed to circumvent the end game part.
I know normally the people just bill straight into it.
Yeah, the first time I played, when I was a player for this, the one time I tried it, that's the first place everyone went.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm like,
very
oh,
early.
we're going to get our asses handed to us.
I saw a shiny statue and I wanted to check that shit out.
Mhm.
So you're good.
I am so tempted to turn this pool into alcohol just for laughs, but I'm saving my last spell slot.
Yeah. Still got 2 good spells.
I do like how the dynamic lighting is able to, like, where you guys can't go through the walls.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it a lot easier.
All right,
Do you want to lead the way, or should I?
I'm just gonna give another look-see for traps. 15. You can go ahead.
You don't see any kind of traps or anything.
I'm vaguely disappointed that there's not more booby traps.
Yeah, so we should probably let Kina and Fury Beard lead.
I like all the nicknames that you're coming up with, everybody.
Yeah.
So
And be
Ephixa,
Ephixa and Haldor.
as you come up to this little section here, the tunnel widens into what appears to have once been a small shrine. To the northeast steps leads up to a small platform of gray stone. Sitting atop the platform is an ancient altar, little more than a jagged block of black marble with a shallow concavity on the top of it. The basin is filled with what appears to be very filthy water.
Detect evil.
So much so that it almost overwhelms your senses.
Yes.
She kind of rubs her forehead and says, "There's some wickedness going on in there. It's an aura so thick I could taste it." Haldor, you want to lead the way this time?
Lucilla pulls out a bottle of holy water just in case. I'm a smart person.
Okay.
Okay. I don't have a torch though.
I got you.
I need to move something a little bit.
Okay, hold on. Let's stop moving.
There we go. I just want to make sure you guys could see
Okay.
the door over there.
Yep.
Double
Um,
doors.
So as you look into this chamber, yeah, you see the double doors over there. The shrine itself is emanating some kind of evil intent. Like, even those that can't detect evil, you can kind of just get a sense of dread as you approach.
Reluctantly, Vix would edge a bit closer, get a better look at it.
Let's see.
I don't think my trick will help with that.
You can roll me a knowledge religion.
Mine, and then my buddies. You kind knows.
Yeah, I can't really tell you, but it when you get closer, it actually flies away and lands on Emanuele. It doesn't seem to be it doesn't seem to want to be near this thing.
Is there? Yeah. Vix
Yeah,
will just.
the inside of the water is just thick and almost like mucusy in coloration.
Vix has gone back away and say, "I don't know what that is, but I'm just not liking it."
Did it detect magic, or did we try it as magic?
Detecting the magic, it does. The water itself detects as vaguely magical.
Well, having watched the bird fly over to Emanuele and Ephixa back off, Ris'sh kind of walks up.
I'll take a peek as well.
Anyone
Magic,
approaching
but
can use a knowledge religion, or on the shrine, or you can do a knowledge arcana if you wish as well.
I
But
will.
the DC will be higher.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was saying the DC will be higher if you do arcana.
I'll take a 20. I
You'll
can
take
just
a
do
20?
that instantly once a day. On any.
On which one?
I guess the religion. No, wait, hold on. I'm trying to think of what that would be logical for the character because I instantly succeed no matter what. I guess it would be. Hold on, let me see what I have training in. Damn it, they're equal. I guess I'll just say Arcana.
Okay, so working together with Ris'sh, who scored pretty high in his own right. Yeah, this fountain itself is producing some kind of unholy water.
Gotcha.
But it's more specific than that. With a natural 20 adding to it, this is what is known as Waters of Lamashtu. Any creature that is anointed with this fluid suffers effects, generally negative. Eventually, the failure of saves, I don't know how to include that in the explanation.
Unable to resist it. It's
unable to resist it. Yeah, sorry. It takes root, driving the victim mad, draining their intelligence, and deforming their body.
So is what they experiment with, yes?
Guess so. I wonder what would happen if I would chuck this vial of holy water in there.
Think it's safe distance, yes?
oil or water in a hot oil pan.
I'm sorry with those words.
Yes. Sorry. Again. Yeah.
No problem.
Similar to throwing water in a pan full of hot oil. That's my guess.
Bad combination.
Yeah.
Maybe see behind double doors before experiment.
Yeah. I mean, it would be great if it exploded, but double doors first.
Like, man, I wanted it to explode.
He's like Spear. We don't want it to be load-bearing.
And any adventure that ends with you leaving an evil temple as it collapses behind you is just great for the Pathfinder Society application.
Mm.
I'm going to check this door for traps.
Go ahead.
17.
Doesn't seem to be any kind of traps in there, but you do notice in the keyhole.
Mhm.
It is in the shape of a 7-pointed star. That match. I forgot to describe that with the key. Is the key itself is actually in the shape of a 7-pointed star at the tip of it. So
I reach into my pack and well aware Fix is right there. I act like I'm talking to myself, but I'm definitely saying it for her. Don't touch the book, they say. Nothing good will come of it, they say. Click the key in there.
So we found the boss key before the boss room.
What do you
Always good.
know? Proper order. This room only has good things in it.
this huge room looks nothing more than an immense underground cathedral. Stone doors stand to either side of the main entrance. But beyond this, the walls are carved with strange spiky runes. In the center of the room is a large pool with a ring of polished human skulls balanced on stone spikes arranged in a circle around the deeper midsection. At the far end of the room, a pair of stone stairways lead up to a pulpit on which sits a second pool, this one triangular and filled with a churning, bubbling water that looks almost like translucent lava. Yet wisps of what look like heat and steam rise from the strange orange liquid. The room itself is deathly cold.
Well, that's a comforting sight.
Well, Fix, you're like divine or something, right?
I suppose.
Our threshold's like a deal. Take a step in there. I'll be right behind you.
Okay.
Seemed like thing maybe Elf Boy and Lover were after.
If I were a betting girl.
There's 2 doors in here.
As you step in, the light from the well of water kind of illuminates it in a sickly pale blue glow. As you hear somebody above you in a high-pitched voice shriek about how dare you intrude on Mother's sanctum, as from above.
That's a closet.
Yeah, about 30 feet up. You see her with this dagger that's a little bit bigger than her body. Like, not bigger than her body, but bigger than what she should be able to carry, being a tiny creature of herself. Slice at her hand as blood drips into the pool. And as the blood drips into the pool, you begin to see some creatures begin to crawl out of the pool itself.
Mm.
That's what I thought.
But as they drop in, you see the glow diminish very noticeably. You see a look of some kind on the Quasit's face as this happens, as she turns her head back to you all and shrieks.
Could I use a sense motive to see the nature of the reaction it had?
Yeah. Roll me a sense motive.
I didn't put points into it, but I'll give it a shot.
Just letting people who
Nope.
use.
I don't.
Yeah,
I mean,
Ris'sh and Ephixa. You notice a sudden look of worry when she sees the glow diminish before she focuses back on the group of you.
Mm.
And that seems like a good point to leave it on a cliffhanger.